Welcome everyone to the last day of regular season action over in the VCS. It's week 7, day 4, two not quite super important series on our hands, but at least we get to close out the season with some interesting games, hopefully, especially in the second series of the night. I'm hoping for some Mimi compositions, for some TFT compositions maybe. Garen Yumi was played yesterday in the EU and won, so maybe we'll get to see the Vietnamese take on that strategy. I'm Yulwei, here with you as always, and every day will join us a little bit later. He is sadly cannot join us from the start, but will be here somewhere in between game 1 and 2, I heard, so let's wait for him as well. I have to double check with you because for some reason my streaming program once again is a little bit weird today and decided to not give you supposedly any of the audio that's not coming from my mic. So can you hear music playing now? You should be able to. Please tell me. It doesn't look like it works right now. I'm sorry. For some reason OBS always wants to interfere with the stream. So for now we only have my voice, sadly enough, but let's look at the standings. As you can see, Gamma secured first place, highlighted very much here in this graphic. The MVP race is not really relevant anymore because DBL has no player on 600 points if I check correctly, so they can't reach the top spots. Yijin and Levi have secured their Son could actually overtake them in the second series. If EVOS gets Son a double MVP, Son could actually be the season MVP. So that's the only player still in contention for MVP. If he doesn't get 2 MVPs, it will be Levi, Yijin, and potentially Son for triple MVP. That would be interesting as well. 3 junglers as the front runners there. We see Razor once again in today. Zhu Hao is the jungler, like he jungled against Cerberus earlier this week as well. Not sure if this is a new strategy from DBL and they really want to play him in playoffs, or if this is just to give him some playing time. Usually DBL goes back to Meliodas in the very important times. We'll have to see. Victory, Kuroko, Rika. This is the traditional lineup for FTV. They have played this particular lineup the last 2 series as well. So we see the same lineup as earlier in this week. And Police has been the star player for FTV in the last few weeks. FTV overall way better in the second half than in the first half. Have secured 3 serious victories against Cerberus, against QG, and I don't quite remember against whom else, but they have looked way better, actually like a real team now. And if not for their drafting problems, I think they would actually be quite a good team. But if they win today, they can still get out of relegation zones. So this is super important for FTV, not so much for Dashing Buffalo. They are locked in playoffs. They cannot go up to 3rd place, am I correct? And it does not really matter if they go to 3rd place either, because first gets to choose his playoffs opponent. So if they want Dashing Buffalo, they'll just take Dashing Buffalo. This is just to look ahead to playoffs. Look if you can improve some strategies and work on something. Maybe test out Kaido again. I'm still kind of confused. They don't want to play Kaido at all. He got 1 game where he played okay, in my opinion, and then was never seen again. Razor in. Yes, supposedly it lost against the streamer and got flamed a lot by the community. That's what I heard. Still kind of feels weird that he's not featured at all anymore. Maybe we'll get to see him later on today. I'll once again try to give you some music. The pick and ban music is always nice to have. Creates a little bit of hype. So let's try this again. And there we are. Okay, should be good to go. The bans very standard on FTV side. Irelia, Sejuani, Yumi, 3 first pickable champions, and they are looking for potentially, oh, the Jace once again gets featured. Jace has seen a lot of priority in the VCS. He was disabled for a long time, but now he's back, and many teams seem to be very keen to get to play him. Now it's J4 for Kuroko, very good champion for FTV, gives them very linear engage and a good tool to start fights. Well, this Akali, by the way, will probably go in the hands of Rezo. He has played a lot of Akali games and has struggled a little bit in lane, and Akali is a very good band-aid solution to not struggle in lane, because yeah, she barely struggles. She's just sitting in a shroud, farming for later. Can look for kill potential, but she's the one to decide the fight, so if she doesn't want to fight, she'll just sit there and farm. I like this early Ryze pickup on FTV side as well. They have good Ryze players in their on their lineup. Victory has played a great Ryze. Kuroko himself, the jungler, has played multiple Ryze solo lane games as well, with the sub jungler coming into jungle. That has looked quite good as well, in my opinion. So a good Ryze team. We don't actually see too much Ryze in the western regions right now. I'm not sure if this is a misread, or if VCS teams are just very overly keen on Ryze. I actually like him a lot. He has a lot of damage on the late game. He's a very strong team fighter. Not as strong in the side lanes anymore, but still, yeah. I think we'll get to see more Ryze later on this year again. Zaya Khan picked up for Dashing Buffalo, immediately counterpicked by Lux support. This is 9-14, so this is actually a pretty weak counterpick in my opinion. Morgana definitely is the better option, but Morgana was banned. Now Caitlyn gets banned as well, so this Zaya Khan should not struggle as much as we sometimes see in the VCS, which means Big Core and Palette, one of our best bot lanes, should be free to win the lane against Police and be actually also one of the better performing bot lanes in the later half of the split, especially on Police's side. The only player to secure a pentakill in the VCS. He has already secured 2 pentakills, one with Lucian, one with Caitlyn. Very strong ADC player. Will be on Sivir duty, it looks like, this game. Sivir Lux just there to handshake lane, to farm for late. Very uneventful bot lane, most likely. Maybe Rakan can look for a pick on Lux. That's potentially possible, but not too likely. So bot lane will not be the early game focus for either jungler. And we see the Sylas locked in. Mid lane actually, so double AP solo laners with an AD jungler seems to be the plan for Dashing Buffalo. Good damage profile on the top side. It's a blind Sylas mid lane, that's interesting. Kind of blocking the Azir and Corki. You don't really want to pick Azir and Corki into Sylas. So let's see what oh, maybe it's the Ryze in the mid lane, so it's not completely blind. Rika could just go Ryze top and they could counter pick the Sylas in the mid lane. Ooh, Azir into Sylas. Oh, instead it's Corki. Not a great matchup either, so intelligent blind pick, or almost blind pick for a Dashing Buffalo side in my opinion. Set up the counter pick, so the FTV had to choose between, do they want to go to a more unconventional mid lane champion and try to counteract the Sylas, or do they want to go back to Azir or Corki and deal with the not so great matchup into Sylas? I actually think Azir is the better option between the two, but maybe Victory feels more comfortable on the Corki. Corki overall higher priority champion than Azir around the world, so I can understand why they would want to go for the Corki. Double ADC, very strong late game. In fact, super strong late game with the Ryze in the top lane also coming in. So FTV is set up to fight in the later stages of the game, and we'll get to see what they can do. Fan vote, we're going very much over to the favorites in DBL. I'd say this series is probably a little closer if you look at percentages. I'd give DBL a slight advantage, maybe something like 60%, maybe 57%. I'm not too... Yeah, I really don't like how they played the last few weeks, and I actually think FTV has a lot of potential. Most of the time, their drafting is holding them back. I don't quite agree with the Lux support pick, but other than that, The draft in this game looks quite good, and if Police once again can pop off, if Rika is able to not int on lane, which he has done a lot with Ryze sadly, but he has looked better the last few weeks, so let's cut him some slack and see if he can perform against Rezo, who has struggled a lot as well. So let's get into game for this first one. As I said before, if you just joined us, or me, because that's what I want to talk about, my co-caster will be here for the second game. Maybe will even join us for the back half of the first game. He's a little late today, not on him, but yeah, he can't join us for the beginning of the game. So bear with me, please. FTV comp, yeah, I really like their comp as well. I think it gives them a lot of great tools in the late game. I always talk about the new Ryze as potentially the strongest competitive late game champion now, because I think he's almost unbeatable in teamfights. It's very easy to set up E's, and if the Ryze is good with his Q, he gets insane amounts of damage in no time at all. I think he's definitely deals more damage than the Sivir in late game teamfights. That's something not a whole lot of champions can say. So yeah, I think Ryze is ridiculously strong. And late, if you get him to level 16, that is. That's probably why he's not seen in EU too much, because teams don't like to go for late game. If you're not Splice, you can't really succeed in EU with a late game strategy. I'm not sure why he's not seen too much in NA. I think he would fit the NA meta. You could actually just scale for late, go ARAM, and Ryze will win every teamfight in the late game ARAM. So kind of surprised NA has not picked up this champion that is very much seen almost exclusively in the VCS. So let's see what Rika can do. I lost the early. He has to be super careful in the top lane though. It's very easy for Kali to get on top of him, and not the easiest pattern to trade back for the Ryze as well. He has more all-in damage than Akali if he hits everything, but it's very hard for him to hit Akali. Yeah, usually I think actually Ryze top now with the new Ryze is very easy to play. Can just, especially into melees, you can just stand there, E the wave, and then Q, and the melee can't even get close to the wave because he will eat the 100 plus bonus damage even early on in the game. But the first game comes in on victory. He gets his Valkyrie on level 3, so he got away. A little bit too late on the gank from Zhu Hao. They should have tried to get him on level 2. That would have been a better chance to kill him. But yeah, very easy escape for victory. He just Valkyries away. Nothing really happened. But now look at his health bar. He actually took another trade and lost heavily against Null. This matchup, we've seen more and more mid lane Sylas emerge, especially because he's very good into Azir and Corki, as I alluded to in the champion select. And that's one of the primary reasons why we see so much Sylas again. And as we know from times like MSI, wow, very bad smite from Kurko, he still gets the Scuttle Crab. He's a very strong mid-game champ and can force skirmishes and be very assertive in the mid-game, even early on in the game already, because of his heal, of his extra HP, a lot of CC. Now with the magic shield, Corki can't even touch him in trades really. So yeah, good choice for Null. Overall, looking at DBL's comp, because we have only really talked about FTV's comp so far, which is just a very strong late game setup with super strong team fighting, good engage, and insane amounts of damage in the late game. Looking at the DBL, they have an early game jungler, a mid game mid laner, and yeah, Akali, whatever Akali is strong almost all the time in the game. Maybe falls off a little bit compared to full team fighting champions later on, but she can still do a lot in the late game. Zyra Khan is just strong all around the game, so I'd say that this is a very mid-game focused draft. They want to accelerate some parts of the map, wherever Zhu Hao wants to go with his Rek'Sai, and try to force fights around Dragon, maybe around the Baron at 20-25 minutes with this composition, where they still should have the advantage. Zyra usually a little stronger on 2 items compared to the Sivir. It's not a huge advantage in my opinion, but she has a little bit more utility, a little bit more peeling for the rest of the team with the Blade Caller. So Xayah into Corki and Rice as the mages on the other side. It's not too easy to play though. 525 range against Corki is already not the greatest. Corki can just poke her out. I actually think FTV's team composition should be favored in this game. There's a lot of agency on DBL's side, but if they don't stick the landing on the first few kills for Zhu Hao, I think FTV has a very easier way to execute team fights. It's easy to team fight with Rice in the late game now. He's not that hard to champion anymore after the last rework. You have a very straightforward engage on Kuroko. Victory is super safe on the Corki. Police is quite safe on the Silver as well. So I don't think DBL has the damage in the late game to deal with FTV. So I favor their team composition. We'll have to see if it comes down to actual scaling wars and if the team composition gets relevant, or if DBL can accelerate this game to a point where no matter what the enemy team picked, they are just too far behind. So far, they have not found the first kill with Rek'Sai, which is not a great sign. Rek'Sai can start the snowball at level 6 as well, a lot of damage from Rek'Sai, but it's not Hail of Blade Rek'Sai, so it's actually not the full-on early game most damage you can potentially pick up on this champion. This is more useful in the later and mid-game team fights with the Reconqueror, a little bit more consistent damage, a little bit more sustainability. My opinion on Rek'Sai is I actually don't like to see her too much. I think Rek'Sai has kind of fallen out of favor a little bit. Oh, they want to go for the kill on Rika and deny the Realm Dwarf, so very easy kill for the Rek'Sai. Nicely done. Rika tried to outplay with an interesting flash there. Almost got the outplay. I think he was a few seconds away. But yeah, the Rek'Sai didn't even have to flash on top of him, so he didn't really have any real chance of escaping there. Should probably just have flashed away towards his tower and at least try to force the flash out of Zhu Hao so that he doesn't have this flash to repeat gank top, because that is a very easy choice now. Just go top lane again. You still have the pretty much guaranteed knock up on flash Rek'Sai, unburrow to get another kill on Rika. So I'd like to see Kuroko invest some time into the top lane, try to counter gank the next one for Zhu Hao, especially once he hits 6, and try to turn around this very volatile top lane matchup. Early kill, we see this a lot from Corki. He should have his first package as well, so maybe he can look for a roam top lane as well and don't let the jungler go there. I really want to see some coverage for Rika, because yeah, I talked about Rika inting a little bit with Rice. If he ints from here, it's not really his fault, because what can he do on an immobile champ against Rek'Sai and Akali? They have too much CC, too much damage, so yeah, he's supposed to go down here. And FTV now has to invest extra resources to prevent him from chain feeding in the top lane. While I say that, it's actually Zhu Hao opting to clear his bottom side and reinforce the bot lane, which, in my opinion, does not really make a whole lot of sense right now. They know that the dragon has gone down, and it's a very obvious reset timer for the bot lane as well. So this is a big misread for Zhu Hao. He wasted a lot of time. They actually tried to go for the gank, and no one is there. Ooh, they gave a lot of time over to Rika, and his flash is almost halfway through the cooldown, so the half of the time he has weathered the storm in the top lane. He'll just clear waves. As I said, the 1v1 matchup is actually not too interesting in the top lane, even though it's Akali. I don't think she has enough damage to kill the Ryze straight up. And Ryze will just stand there, throw out EQ, 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 and everything goes down. Oh, they actually want to give the blue buff over to the Ryze. This is... Oh, while I say that, B gets caught in bot lane. Police is very low as well. Zhu Hao with the ult, but now Zhu Hao in some trouble, gets out of the turret aggro, and Palette took that one away from his jungler, while his jungler was untargetable in his ult, so very good dive coordination. They get one kill, but now the victory is here with the package. Ooh, forces the flash out of Kikoro in the end. Big Kuro gets away, one kill over to DBL. Well executed dive. Maybe they try to get a little bit more. Only one kill for this much investment is... you want to see 2 kills, but at least it's a clean 1-4. But Victory is still chasing Zhu Hao. Wants to force the flash, really wants to force the flash, but can't pursue because of mid lane priority for null. So, yep, early on, 10 minutes in, DBL has secured a little bit of a gold lead, which is nice to see. Ooh, Rico wants to go to the fight. No, calls off the play. Realm Warp not taken. And now, early group around the Rift Herald. Palette is here though. Rift Herald is secured by Coco. This will be dangerous for FTV. They need to get out of there. Rico does not have his flash available, so he has to be the sacrificial lamb. Another kill over to DBL. That's not great. At least the kill goes over. Oh, now all the kills went over to Zhu Hao. As we look at this one again, B is not level 6, gets caught by the Blade Caller here. Nice engage from the Rakan. B is actually still alive, and they've completely changed their attention to police, and B gets out of here. They underestimated the heal and the shield coming in for B, and thought he was dead anyway. Wow, Victory missed his Q there, crucially. Could have actually gotten the kill, maybe. In the end, only one kill over to Police, who gets a solo plating. So in terms of ADC matchup, they should be kind of even. 15 CS lead for Big Koro, and one turret plating a solo over to Police, while there's an assist on Big Koro, but they get a few turret platings in the top lane. So overall, Zarya still a little bit ahead. And a lot of damage in the mid lane fight. Victory really needs his Trinity to fight back against Sylas, as DBL has just hard swapped bot lane, and the Rift Herald is top lane, I should say. Rift Herald summoned bot lane, so the turret race should still go over to FTV. As I said that, Razor is actually doing a great job denying the turret, but it still goes down, and now Razor in a little bit of trouble. Kurko does not want to commit his ults. Fair enough, Razor has flash and ult available, so would have been pretty much a waste of time for Kuroko to go for the ult there. Still, first turret over to FTV. They used the Rift Herald, which was pretty expensive for them, because they had to pay with the life of Eureka, give up even more priority in the top lane with Rika's life to get the Rift Herald, so at least they get the first turret from the Rift Herald, and another dragon as well. I'd say right now, looking at the game, both teams are actually quite content with the state of the game. DBL has secured an early gold advantage. FTV has secured the dragons scaling into later game. They are not too super happy with their Ryze right now, because the Ryze has fallen a little bit behind. But yeah, he's still able to farm in the top lane, so at least he gets some resources and can collect some levels. He's level 9, so in terms of experience, he really needs to catch up. He needs level 11 to be able to fight against Sylas as well as the Akali. 70% on the extra damage is a big step up from 40%. So if you missed how the new Ryze rework works, you get extra damage on Q every time you level up your ult. That's why level 16 now is a really big power spike for the Ryze. You get the 100% extra damage on Q if it's if the E spread and you get the Q on the E targets, you deal 100% extra damage. That's where the 1500 crits come in the late game. So the ult levels now are very important for the Ryze. Usually beforehand, Ryze actually was not too reliant on his ult, because Realm Warp was a nice rotating and playmaking tool, but not too important for lane trades. Now it is actually very important to hit the next ult evolution or ult power spike. Trinity at least now secured for FTV's mid laner, actually very early in my opinion. 14 minutes with a cool board, so he invested some gold on other items as well. This is a very strong Corki now, with early Trinity Force. He's not too safe against Akali. He doesn't have any MR, which he's probably building next, but he needs to be careful. Has his package available. Razor invested his ult, so now Razor doesn't really have a gap closer. That's why Victory re-engaged in the fight. Looked very dangerous, but if you think about it, Akali without her ult not too menacing, so Victory is just safely able to farm. Still almost a 2k gold lead for DBL. And what are the next steps for DBL to take to blow open this game? Rise is still level 10, so fighting around the next dragon would be great for DBL, but there's no real reason for FTV to fight the next Cloud Dragon. It's not an Infernal Drake, it's not another Mountain Drake, so they don't really need to invest time and risk getting wiped around the Dragon Pit, so just give it over, let your Rise catch up in terms of levels and in terms of farm. He's now hit level 11, so the second big ult power spike is there. I think it's hard to call right now. There's a big item power spike for Akali, but in a straight up fight, he probably wins against Akali. But hold the thought, as Zhuhao once again invested his flash on Rika. Very easy kill secured for the support. Not too sure if I agree with this play, actually, because didn't really do a whole lot for them. They got a kill, fair enough, but the kill went over to the support. They didn't give over gold to the side laners. They invested flash and ult from their jungler only to get the kill on the support with... I mean, they could pressure the bot lane turret, but they don't even get any objective out of this. It's only reset timing and a little bit of push pressure in the bot lane. So... I'm not too sure I like this play. Now the Rexa is actually pretty vulnerable, especially if she gets caught by a Lux Binding or something like the Rise Snare. And Rise did not even try to flash away, which was a very good choice for Rika. He has to be frustrated a little bit with this game, because he has actually played a good Rise game. He still went down 3 times, and looks like he's once again doing the typical Rika stuff, inting away on the Rise in the top lane. But yeah, we can't really fault him too much. Null has to flash away, and now TP is even called from Razor to save the mid laner. That's not a great sign for DBL. They need to win this side lane matchup. I really want to see a Hexdrinker for victory. I think that would help him a lot in the side lane. He's already accelerated in terms of item builds. He does not have to go for straight up crit, in my opinion. He has 2 backline carries beside him, so he does not have to go full max damage here in this game, and would help FTV's mid game a lot to have one side laner wins against either side laner on DBL's side. Yeah. Going for Hexdrinker, or even more straight up, would probably give Corki the advantage against both of the side laners. We already saw him win against Salis. Let's see what Victory decides to go for. Yeah, as we all expected, this dragon is not really contested. It will go freely over to DBL. As you see, a nice solo kill for Razor. So he can't win against Akali, apparently. Would really like to see the Hexdrinker. This is the first big side lane advantage now for DBL. Razor is not trying to push this turret, which is a little bit surprising. But you got the kill, and he's a very strong Akali in the mid game. Everyone has to be feared on the side of FTV. Is this advantage big enough for DBL to close out the game, to play around Baron and blow open the game in around 7-8 minutes? It's hard to say. It kind of depends on how much Razor is able to push out enemy side laners. Looking at this again, Razor just lands the E and gets the stun on Victory as well. Victory is almost dead immediately after the initial skill shots hit, so nothing much he can do. And he's not opting into Hexdrinker. I think this is a mistake. He has to be able to withstand Razor's pressure, because no one else can enter lane against Akali. Okay, Rika has built a little bit of MR. Maybe Rika is actually able to just farm. Once his Archangels is completely stacked, he should be able to be safe enough with his shield to not die against the Razor straight up. So that seems to be the choice for FTV. They want to reinforce the original top lane matchup, which is Rise against Akali, not go Corki into Akali. I still think the Hexdrinker would have been great into Sylas even. But if they're confident enough that he's winning against Sylas without Hexdrinker as well, I guess it's okay to go straight up damage and look for the IE power spike. Kuroko is a little bit far away from his team, gets caught by the Rakan engage and flashes away, but is ignited, so kill goes over to DBL. And now jungler is down with the Baron just spawned. It's at 20 minutes. This is a very risky Baron call if they want to go for it. DBL has position around Baron. They want to force the fight here, obviously. It's a 5v4 situation. They are already ahead. They have a Jarvan ult on their Sylas. Ooh, this is a dicey situation for FTV. They really need to staunch the bleeding. They've actually given away too much gold now. It's 5k gold lead for DBL. And big mistake by Kuroko. But it's not late enough for DBL to just force the 5v4 Baron situation. At 20 minutes, Baron is still too strong. They would lose too much HP to do this uncontested. So call off the Baron play. They still get a flash from the enemy jungler and another kill on their ADC, who has now been accelerated with 2 items. Way stronger in the mid game right now compared to the enemy Sivir. FTV has to find a way to not engage in fights and still don't give up objectives. The next dragon, luckily for them, they are on a lot of luck here for their dragon rolls. Is another Cloud Drake. So they are very happy just giving out the second Cloud Drake and need to establish some vision around Baron. There's a pink ward in the back half of the pit, so at least they right now can spot DBL starting off the Baron. And Zhu Hao is still looking for more kills. DBL, I'd say, is sitting at a 65% chance probably to win this game. They need to make something happen in the next 10 minutes, but they have a little bit of time. It's with the 5k gold lead and their strong mid-game champs. It's not like they fall off immediately in the next few minutes. They still have a lot of damage. Xayah can win teamfights on her own. As I said before, it's not too easy against Ryze for Xayah. But right now she has more damage than the Ryze, so still a great situation for DBL to win this one. And FTV needs to just catch the waves, use their great wave clear, and prevent Baron from falling. Never venture out too far into the map. Never do something like Kuroko just did, where he died for absolutely no reason. I was very far away from his team. Stay under turrets. Try to not die to the Akali in side lane, which will probably be the hardest task, because Razor is very strong. Another catch attempted for DBL. They just get the turret here. They could just try to get another auto attack on the turret. Too far away. A lot of teleports invested to save this play for FTV side. DBL gets double TP. Oh, it's actually only one TP, so I thought Rika was TPing in there as well. But no, he just walked over. One TP from a victory. FTV buys a few more minutes, which is great. As I said, it's not like DBL is really panicking already, looking at the enemy scaling, because they still have a lot of advantages. They still have Sylas level 14, level 16 Sylas is still a strong champion. Not as absolutely ridiculous as he was before, with the old cooldown getting a big nerf on 914, but he's still a very strong skirmisher and can jump into the backline. Sivir without, okay, she now has double crit items, so she actually can kind of deal with the Sylas in a prolonged fight. She has enough damage to kill him, especially if assisted by Corki or Ryze, as Victory gets... Ooh, Victory is a level down compared to the enemy ADC as mid laner. We'll just die here. The flash was very ill-advised, because Palette is here. Don't flash there. Another kill going over to DBL, another overextension for FTV. This trend has continued, and they will probably try to get on top of Kuroko. As you can see, Kuroko EQs away, but there's no way he gets away. Zhu Hao with the 8-0 secure for DBL, and now 2 kills secured. They could look for the Baron. TP available for Rika. Rika is level 13 on 1 completed item. I don't think he has the damage to really get to deter DBL's Baron take, I should say. And Police is not strong enough either. He doesn't have his flash available. This might just be the game here. Oh no, the steal! Oh, B is the hero for FTV. He steals away the Baron with the E and ult from Lux. Great combination there. He doesn't even have any AP build. He's sitting on something like 30 AP and still gets the steal on the Baron. Zhu Hao, the sub jungler, not looking too great here in this situation, even though he had a great game so far. Look at this again. Big Ko with a very cool little wraparound. Comes from behind. Victory had already used his Valkyrie. Now flashes over the wall, even though he saw the Rakan. Yeah, that was a really weird flash. And Kuroko, not quite sure where his first EQ went. I think it was on cooldown when he initially got engaged on, so couldn't immediately EQ away. Enough time for DBL's members to catch up and kill him. But in the end, actually gave FTV the Baron. They're still far behind in terms of gold, but it's 40k has now been reached. If they get to 55k, I'd say they outscale. It's
With that discussion on scaling, g'day man.
Oh, hey, hello, welcome.
Sorry I was late. Trains aren't very nice to me. But have I missed much? This looks like a bit of a stomp.
It looks like a little bit of a storm, but this is actually very interesting team compositions fighting against each other, in my opinion. Very mid-game focused on DBL's side and very scaling late-game focused on the FTB side. You just missed a support like steal a Baron.
Oh, I didn't miss it.
Okay, okay.
I've been in the channel for a few minutes waiting for a lull state to come on. Ready to go. But that was obviously very impressive and really important. I was watching the stream on my way home. So I've been keeping up with how this game's going. It's going to be very difficult for FTV to stabilize. But if they can stabilize, their scaling is ridiculous.
Yeah, and right now they don't have to go anywhere on the map, right? The big objective, the Baron is gone. They don't even have to invest much vision now, because Baron will not spawn for another 5 minutes, and there's only a Cloud Drake, so who cares, right?
Yeah, I mean, they've actually gotten... I didn't see too much of the early game, but from what I can see here, they've gotten really fortunate with how the Drakes have spawned.
Yeah,
DBL's got
super
Drakes, yeah, which don't really matter, but FTV's got the Impact Drakes of the mountain and the ocean, which is really important.
Yeah, I didn't... To look back at the early game, DBL tried to swap, or they initiated the bot lane swap to top lane to get more turret platings, and that's why FTV got the early priority on the Baron, even though they fell behind a little bit in gold. Of course, a lot of the kills went over to DBL. They still got the early dragons, and as you say, very fortunate with the dragon spawn.
Ooh, but DBL a little bit caught out here. Kuroko put up the cage. Rika trying to do as much as he can on this rise, but this scaling hasn't kicked in for him yet. But Zhu Hao is in a bit of trouble, but in comes the reinforcements. Big Koro doing as much as he can with the feathers. Paulette and Zhu Hao managing to escape. Down goes Victory. Rezo in the front line on this Akali. And this is FTV. You don't want to fight yet. Don't take anything.
They almost got the kill there. Rika is a level 15. A level 16 he would have probably gotten the kill, so very close, very close.
It was very close, but I do think FTV just needs to chill out. Even let this turret fall. This turret does not matter. Neither does the inner in the top and the bot lane. Just let minions push to your base, get some more gold. You need about another 8 to 10k gold.
Yeah.
And then you can win this game.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I said 55k is where FTV would probably outscale, regardless of gold on DBL's side, actually. Because they get the 3 items on their 3 carries, and then it doesn't really matter what... Okay, if Biko by that point is at 6 items, maybe he can still win the team fights. But yeah, just Salas and Akali are not able to deal as much AoE damage, so should be enough.
Yep. Definitely should be. Rika here, falling back from the tower. Good, there's no point trying to defend this if you're FTV. Don't even bother mounting a defense. This is going to be, even with the scaling, you do have to question how easy it's going to be to potentially stage a comeback. Obviously, we're a few minutes away from that even being potential, and DBL could try and make a play in that time. But again, I missed a lot of this game, but I'm going to go ahead and say that if FTV hasn't managed to secure a kill, they're not executing things particularly well.
Yeah, they get caught a lot. I think it's kind of okay to not get a kill in this game, right? They just want to scale for late game. They want to go for as many creeps as they can. They don't actually need that many kills. But yeah, giving up so many kills is not great, right? Multiple members got caught, Victory in the top lane, Kuroko around the mid lane, Rika multiple times in the top lane. So too many kills have gone over to the DBL side, accelerating their scaling. And as I said at the beginning of the game, it's not like they completely fall off at a point, right? They still have a lot of playmaking tools. It's not as easy to execute, but it's still Akali in the late game. It's still Silas with great ults on the other side to steal. So
yeah, very, very true. It's going to come down a lot to Victory's positioning, I think. He needs to be super safe in these fights. Victory and Rika.
Yeah, and it also comes down a lot to Kuroko's frontlining, I think. If he's able to buy enough time for Eureka and Victory, I mean, that ties into the point you just made, right? So if he's a good frontliner here, he could just win the teamfight positioning for his whole team, just with the good engages and buying enough time for his backline carries.
FTV has to be so careful approaching this Baron. They can't see the pit itself, so they don't know if it's been started or if they're lurking in the jungle. And as we can see, they are lurking. They think it might just be Razor, but he's got friends coming. Kuroko is on so little health, but there's no tag from the Rek'Sai, so Zhuhao can't secure that kill.
They immediately want to start the burn.
Yeah, with the jungle force back, you take this pretty quickly.
They have Realm Warp, though.
Yeah.
Could look for a collapse. Oh, there it is. There it is. How many people would... Oh, no one.
Ooh, it's no one. It was scouting Realm Warp.
Yeah.
You get
I got excited. I thought there would be a big fight in the Baron pit, but no one wanted to go there.
I actually think it's the correct decision from FTV. You don't want to fight that. Yeah, I think B should have gone for the steal.
Once
Why
again?
not just chuck it?
Imagine double stealing the Baron in one game and getting your team the all-important victory.
That would be the absolute tilt off the face of the planet for Zhuhao. That would be you're never playing again, man.
Absolutely. So now what are we looking at? 9-0, 8k gold lead. With the Baron buff, it will be very hard for FTV to defend this Baron, or defend off this Baron, I should say.
Yeah, it will. It's not going to be easy, but if they play it smart in the base, it's a lot easier to execute their game plan in the base.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they've got a Simmer that can just wave clear forever. They have a Corki that can poke with the rockets.
Yeah, actually DBL can't really siege, right? They only have one real ranged champion. Technically, Rakan is ranged as well, but point one, he's a support and he has a range of 300, so nope, he's not a ranged champion. They only have... Yeah, you can't build... Yeah, you don't get the execute on the green support item, so he's a ranged champion.
Fair enough. He's in terms of towers though, he's a melee champion.
Yeah, so and he's a support, so even if he was ranged, whatever, would not deal any damage to the turrets either way. Yeah, this is not easy. I think DBL has to dive to really get something here in this.
They do. And that's super scary. Like, it doesn't really matter what your lead is. Against a level 16 Rise, you're scared to die.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't be happy to die, but they are going to go for it. Razor coming around this mid lane in here being seeded by FTV. They'll give that one up, but they don't want to give up anything else. Anything else, and it starts getting very, very dire, I think.
Yeah, one mid lane inhibitor is not too bad. That's probably why they did not want to try something there to defend the inhibitor. They just said, okay, let's give up one. It's okay.
Yeah, defending that mid lane inhibitor, you're risking it all.
Yeah, I think they played this defense quite poorly, I have to say. Way too much time invested bot lane for Rika. They could have actually grouped up with him way earlier, and they gave Razor the inside track into the base.
Now. Victory having the package is pretty important for the defense. It's basically a rumble equalizer.
That's true. And he can get from lane to lane very quickly as well, right? So there's no real out-rotating potential for DBL against the package. It will be very hard to outmaneuver a very strong level 17 Corki with package.
Yep. They need to be committing down to this bot lane, though. They don't want to be sending too many people to help clear the mid wave.
Yeah,
Lux ult being used to help clear, but there's 2 of these cannons firing. You need to do something about this FTV. Now you don't have the safety net of your tower.
And 56 K gold, right? We said 55 K gold was the point where they outscaled. It's not as clear cut as I imagined it to be at this point of the game, but they could fight here. They have super strong carries. They can fight.
Yeah, absolutely they can. And if they execute properly, they do win a fight. It's just a matter of, like, I don't think you can let this second inhib go down for free, FTV. I think you had to fight.
Yeah, I don't like how they played this defense at all. I think they gave way too much respect over to DBL. Now giving up the inhibitors gives DBL a way easier way to close this game. They don't have to break the base anymore. The base is already broken. So, I mean, we saw one comeback from FTV actually against 3 inhibitors. So they won, even though 3 inhibitors went down for them. Maybe we get to see it again. It's Sivir, so the premier champion against 3 inhibitor waves.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible, but I feel like giving up 1 inhibitor was okay. Giving up 2 wasn't good enough, especially when it's the
bot lane inhibitor. Yep.
Bot lane inhibitor. Ooh, Rika, you're in some trouble here.
Oh no.
If Rika dies, the game potentially ends. Pops the Realm Warp, but he can't get back into it. Yep, that's game, I think.
Yep.
DBL just walk into the base and force a fight.
Okay, FTV immediately realizes this, so they want to go for the counter kill to get a 4v4 situation, but Null flashes away.
But even in a 4v4, you don't have your rise.
Yeah, I think in 4v4 they still have double ADC, could potentially defend there as well.
Maybe.
No hard press from DBL though. Interestingly enough, they don't really want to go for the end immediately.
They're stopping the recall. They're stopping the recall for 2 in the base.
They're still Corki defending.
Yeah, I don't think he's really going to be able to. He's just going to get dove by Rezo and Big Koro. But FTV has managed to reinforce now. They'll lose his Nexus tower before they can do anything. Victory takes a fair bit of damage. Can they find anything?
15 seconds. 12 seconds now on Rika.
They're not going to be able to end here, but they get a Nexus tower basically for free just because Rika pushed and didn't have vision and didn't play it at all correctly. It was just bad.
Yeah. His positioning was not great. Oh, FTV wants to go for the fight, potentially?
Rezo a little bit caught out there. Paulette throws himself in. I don't know about this one. Kuriko has to flash away. He's on absolutely nothing, and down he goes. Juhao goes into the ult now, and he goes down as well. Finally, a kill goes back. Juhao down. Paulette diving deep, trying to get the aggro from both of these ADCs. He should go down, but he doesn't. The heal saves him. Big Koro picks up another kill onto Rika, and this should be the end. It's a 1 for 3. Only the 2 ADCs left alive with no front line. What can they possibly do here?
Absolutely great team fighting by the Zaya, by the way. Great positioning, knowing her limits, when to go on Rika.
All really low. Null, he won't even go down. The Kingslayer healing is way too much. And DBL picks up game 1.
Yep. Looked a little bit dicey in the end. Extended the game for a little bit too long for it to be comfortable. But in the end, they still win the game. QG, by the way, the biggest fans of DBL today. Bigger fans than even DBL fans, because they don't care about the series, but QG really does. Interesting game 1. DBL definitely looks like the better team here. They looked more proactive. They knew what to do with their team composition. The Baron still prolonged the game for a very long time. I think if the Baron would have not been stolen away, the game probably ends at 30 minutes. So in the end, one little a blunder, I guess you could say, for Juhao, but everything else looked quite good for DBL. Not a whole lot to criticize here.
Yeah, again, I can only judge it off base what I saw, but it looked fairly clean out of DBL, quite restrained, just punishing the mistakes of FTV. In the end, FTV just sort of fell over, which is a little bit of a shame. They didn't really put up a defense. That last team fight was super ill-advised as well.
Yeah, and I really like to see Rezo step up, right? The Rezo looked way better today than he did for a long time. Akali, one of his favorite champs, one of the most safest champs you can go give him. So good choice for DBL, and apparently he is still a good Akali player. So it was first picked even. Willing to first pick Akali for Rezo is something I would have not expected to see after DBL has struggled a lot with their top lane, and pays off for them in the first game. 1-0 over FTV. FTV needs 2 wins now still to get out of relegations. If they lose one more game, they are locked into relegations.
Yep. That is the case. So, I mean, you're going to have to leave MVP up to you.
I'd say it's Bikoro probably. Great team effort. I think Zhu Hao had a decent early game, nothing MVP worthy in my opinion, and he lost the Baron to support Lux without any AP, so that's already something you don't want on your resume. I don't think you can give him MVP after that one. Does anyone else come to mind? I actually don't think so. It's a very straightforward game with ADC being the most important player in the team fight, so I'd say it's Bikoro. Great Zaya performance. And
Yep,
getting another MVP. He's now sitting on 8 MVPs as well, so almost tying up with Artifact, only one behind Artifact on our list. So he has the opportunity to get the MVP #1 spot, at least for us here.
Yep.
I think that's it for Game 1. We'll be back in about 6 minutes and bringing you Game 2. Let's see if FTV has some fight left in them, or if they'll just roll over and die, and DBL secures the free and easy 2-0 heading into playoffs.
G'day everybody, welcome back to Game 2, or for me, it's pretty much Game 1 of DBL versus FTV. Sorry everyone, but I did miss Game 1, but I'm sure Yulwei had you in very capable hands, as we have to see if FTV can manage to do anything in Game 2, or if it's just going to be the Buffalo Stampede. What do you think we need to see changed in this game?
Maybe either go for a more proactive comp for FTV. I always like bottom tier teams go for more plays because at least they then have the agenda, right? Or they can decide who wins the game.
They set the tempo.
They set the tempo. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Because this game, I mean, I like their composition. I actually said their composition is the better one. Very clear win condition in the late game. But I mean, they got caught too often. They gave up too many objectives early on, and then they couldn't really do a whole lot. I don't think they're clean enough to perform the outscale and just don't give up the minimum and come back in the late game. That probably does not suit FTV too much. I think they looked strongest on proactive team compositions. Think back to the game. They absolutely stomped Flash in one of the series in like 20 minutes or something. They did the same to Loki with a proactive composition. I'd like to see them go back to their Wow, I really don't agree with this MVP. Whatever. Wow, that's. I don't think you can ever give the MVP to a jungler who missed the very crucial Baron Smite against the support, nonetheless. Very strange choice, but whatever. He's still in, by the way. Zhu Hao playing his 4th straight game on stage. I'm not sure what happened, if something happened to Meliodas, or they just want to give him some experience. And this is Kaido, right?
Probably not. That is Kaido. Kaido's in, finally.
Let's see some Jax. Let's get us some Jax or some Soraka top.
Smite Soraka top. Let's go. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh man, Europe is it's like the older brother that smokes at school. Don't copy them.
Yeah.
They get away with it, but you don't need to copy them.
And what can FTV do here? Will they go for another? Yeah, will they go for another interesting cheese composition? I mean, we've seen them play Nocturne mid lane, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right?
It's true, yeah. I'd like to see something new. Maybe look for another interesting cheese. Maybe they have something left. They don't want to put Kuroko mid lane. They don't want to sub and Myokon again. So they seem to have settled, at least on this particular lineup. It took them a lot of time. I mean, we're literally on the last day of regular season.
Yeah, it took them about as long as you possibly could have to potentially pick a lineup. So at least they finally picked it. Maybe they'll have something solid to play in the relegation tournament with if they cannot put together 2 wins here.
And they
Yumi banned out.
Honestly, I think FTV should dominate the relegations if there are no super strong teams from VCSB, because their level still is enough to play in VCS, in my opinion. They are, in fact, especially in the second half, they are not in the bottom 2 in terms of performances. So
QG is definitely playing worse than them in the back half of the split. So they should be fine in relegations, and they will first pick that Lucian, so they're not going to go already. That says they're not going to go super late scaling.
No, this is
Police get potentially his best champion.
Especially, exactly, I should say. They say, "Police, please carry us. We need you. Get us more pentacles. Get us out of relegation zone, please." I'd really like to see the Jax. Jax got covered a lot in the first game Kaido played, so give us the Jax. No cannon, please. Cannon would be very boring.
That would be incredibly boring. But they do first pick the Jarvan. Very strong jungler. We're seeing him be super high priority in a lot of the VCS at the moment, so can't say I'm too surprised.
Whoa!
Oh, hey! Hell yeah! Draven!
Dashing Buffalo want to have some fun. Yay. There we go. Draven. What's the best bot lane you know with Draven? What would you like to see?
Draven's in Zao.
Oh my god, seriously?
Hey, it works, bro. Oh, and we get the Gragawo as well! Oh, we're having a fun game.
This is a hype game already. I actually think Draven.
Thanks for waiting for game 2, lads.
Draven into Lucian is such a foolish pick, but whatever. They want to have fun. Let's see what they can do.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a bit silly because you don't as hard win the early. I mean, Draven does still win the early duels.
You think so?
Because spinning axes hit so hard, dude.
Yeah, but I think especially the things like level 2, actually Lucian wins, especially with PTA.
Yeah,
You get so much more
2.
auto attacks.
Yeah, Draven doesn't really want to duel you until like level 4.
Yeah.
Generally.
And I'm always interested to see what rune choice Draven players go for. He's one of the only ADCs who that don't really have a set rune choice, right? Can go PTA if you want, it's not great. You can go Conqueror, which is also not really great anymore. Some go Kleptomancy. I even saw an Aftershock with the E. So
yeah. Aftershock Draven's totally a thing. Because you're quite short range, so...
Yeah, and it's very easy to proc with the E as well. Very easy to land skill shot.
So yeah, the E is a massive skill shot. Against a Lucian, I'd actually really like to see the Aftershock, because you're almost going to be standing in melee range with each other.
I actually think Aftershock is probably the best rune on Draven,
yeah.
to be honest. You have enough damage already, right? More tankiness for the Draven.
Oh my god.
A lot of supports getting banned. I really like the Braum ban. I think Braum would have completely denied the Draven pick. Very good read for Dashing Buffalo to ban away the Draven.
Oh, you can't
what?
Really? Tom Kent Draven? What?
Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, Tom Kent is... On 914, he's actually quite weak in lane. Oh, I really want to see this. Give me Nami. Please give me Nami.
This would massively tip any duels in the favor of Lucian.
Ooh, give me Nami, please. No.
They can still pick it.
There's still a chance.
Yeah. They can just have a think about it. They've got another 20 seconds. I actually think Nami would be one of the better choices. Like, I can't think of anyone that's much better.
Nami is...
I really think it's a good choice. Because you put the E on the Lucian, and he just
not Tarek.
Rakan's alright, but I think we all wanted to see Nami.
Yeah. The problem with Nami always is the lack of mobility. She is very easy to gank, especially with J4. I think J4, Draven, Tahm Kench has a very easy time ganking the Nami. Yeah, I want to see the Nami. I always want to see the Nami, but I think it's probably the better choice to go for more mobility in the bot lane. Very safe bot lane now. Not the strongest duo ever, but whatever.
I think I like that. I really a pick. I don't really like it. Where's your magic damage?
There is no magic damage, in fact. You're right. This is very AD focused for Dashing Buffalo.
5 AD.
There's no champ on the side of FTV, though, that can really go for a lot of armor.
That's true.
Ryze kind of can opt into a little bit more armor if he goes for Ninja Tabai and Zhonya's as a third item, I guess. Maybe he even goes for the... Yeah.
Roll back the years, go Frozen Heart.
Frozen Heart? I've not seen a Frozen Heart on Ryze for a long time.
You used to do it like 3 years ago.
You could actually go full tank Ryze this game, or go with the Doinby build with Righteous Glory, Frozen Heart, and Archangels, and then be super tanky. Still deal a lot of damage because you're Ryze, and Ryze is just ridiculous. Would be interesting to see. A lot of kill potential for Kaido on the Irelia in the top lane. It's an interesting matchup. Very bad matchup now for Ryze, actually, since the rework came in. We'll have to see what he can do. Rika, second Ryze game in a row.
But they're pointing out that he's played Nocturne instead. That's a very relevant statistic.
It might be the last game we see Rika in the VCS, right? So, I mean, highlighting his cool pocket pick.
Oh, man. I do think the thing we do need to mostly pay attention to on the side of FTV is the Yasuo Gragas, how they play around each other. If you don't play together, there is no point picking that duo. So Definitely going to have to see if they can work that one out. And obviously, though, the most entertaining lane in League of Legends is going to be the Draven lane. We all need to see the League of Draven. Why are we watching a Jarvan? Get the Draven on screen.
What Draven skin are we going for?
I need to judge. Exactly. I need to judge him based on his skin choice.
Yeah. Can already see if he's a real Draven or just a plap playing Draven here, depending on skin choice.
Exactly. I mean, the scariest Dravens use Crystal, because that was his launch skin. It's not his best skin.
It's still a cool skin.
It's very cool. I mean, most of Draven's skin. Ooh, and he's using the scary skin. Ooh, that's the I've played Draven since he came out, and I basically hold games hostage like I'm a member of Al Qaeda.
Okay.
Again, if never go on the Draven main subreddit. Rika's in so much trouble here. Oh my god. Lane over.
Might have flashed here. Oh, Kaido's, yes, Kaido.
Yeah, Kaido's killed A.
Obviously, yeah, he got the stun. Level 2 is super dangerous now. I think Kaido should make the push for level 2 and just go for the all-in. Force flash or even get the kill. Very good opportunity now to get on top of the rise.
He basically has the flash for free. He's already called his jungler. Jungle's level 2 ganking.
Oh, this will be a fun game for Rika.
Yep. Oh, well flashed from Zhuhao. Didn't end up doing anything.
And very badly played from Kaido. Why did you not? Yeah, he could have just held the second part of the flawless duet. There was absolutely no reason to use it this early. If you know your jungler comes, wow, for the gank. Really don't like what Kaido did there, but at least they still got the flash for Rika, which was what they came for.
I think it was a bit of a mix of misplay. They either needed to call, just get his flash, in which case Zhuhao didn't need to flash, or they say, let's actually go, in which case Kaido needs to change his play. Ooh, Null in a bit of trouble here. Victory has his Conqueror proc, but here is the Jarvan. Victory burns to death. The Crocodile is a happy boy as he gets first blood. That trade was going in the favor of Victory before the jungler showed up there.
Yeah. I'm still kind of confused what the last was that the Ignite getting the kill? Yeah, but why did he flash then? Okay, Null just wasted a flash. I thought he had some black magic going on because he flashed forwards and immediately the kill came in, but it was just the Ignite. Okay, so overzealous flash, but whatever.
We get a lot of those in the VCS. I thought you'd be used to it by now.
Yeah, I just was confused. He just went down after the flash, where I thought the flash was useless. And the flash was, in fact, useless, but still gets the kill, so everything is fine. To get back to the top lane play, I think it was, to be fair to Kaido, definitely more miscommunication than misplay, probably. Either try to force the flash or commit, and he wanted to just force the flash, and while Zhuhao wanted to commit, so looked very bad on him. But yeah, looking back at the play, I think you're right. It's more miscommunication than actual misplay.
Yep. Ooh, Big Koro getting a bit unlucky there. His spinning axe is timed out. Now Null in some trouble. The knockup should be able to come in. There it is. The TP is also being called. The help is arriving. Kuriko flashes away.
Oh.
Kaido taking so much damage and he goes down. Rika will pick up that one. He's a happy rise. Zhuhao taking so much damage as well. Very nearly goes down. Paulette has finally arrived. Big Koro coming as well. Can the Draven cash in? Victory will be his target. Oh, Big Koro, you are playing this so dangerous. Walking through the middle of the team and he'll pick it up. He gets his passive cash in. Zhuhao goes down though. Oh, and the Ricard dies to the tower. What a bloodbath in the mid lane!
Absolutely, and they completely forgot that it's Draven they play against. Because this trade was okay against any other ADC. They got the kill on the ADC. Okay, they gave up 2 kills to the ADC, which is never nice. They still got 1 for police and get in a lane advantage. So usually you would say, okay, it's still a nice trade up for our side, 4-3 in terms of kills.
I want to see how much gold he had, because his passive's probably not that
No. It's probably like 500 a total on the first kill, which is still great, right? First kill comes in. Kaido actually once again gets completely outplayed. Rika with a great stun. Kaido has to flash away. Still goes down to Rika. Rika does not take turret aggro, very crucially there. Could have died immediately. Then Big Kuro is here. how does he get? How did he get the
Walk
first kill?
through.
He just walks there. No one
No,
turns on him. I think that was a big mistake.
He got 197 gold from his passive.
Yep, as I said, probably 500. But he gets another 350 because of this 25 zero stack bonus on the passive, as well as the Triumph 20 gold bonus. So in the end, got out of there with almost 1,000 gold for running straight into the enemy, and no one turned on him. Really think
Yeah,
FTV...
but I mean, he played it well. He caught all the axes. That's what you got to do. And now he has a BF sword
Yeah.
to the Vamp Scepter of his opponent. That's a bad time.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Is it round 2? I think we might... Oh, no. I think if that Q had hit from Yasuo, we might have been seeing round 2, but...
I'm not ult yet, though, so can't all
true,
in.
yeah. Oh, wow. Vicoro throwing... I don't know if that's the way you wanted to get spat there, but maybe it is.
Look at the damage.
He's going to pick up police. Draven. It's Draven. He's 3-0. He's charging forward.
Oh my god.
Kuriko going down to Null as well. DBL is here to play. The Draven is chopping. So is the Renekton. Oh man, you don't want to be an FTV player right
Please
now.
explain to me why he's not played Draven this whole season before.
He's
Draven
kept it
is
as
such a
secret
great
option.
pick. Just pick Draven.
Oh,
Because
look at Paulette.
oh man. What a great emote, by the way.
Look at this. What do you even
great.
do? They're gonna die.
Yeah,
they could get done.
No wave though, so can't immediately go for the dive again. Would have never expected the Draven to have the damage to kill Lucian there. That was ridiculous.
I mean, when your Draven gets 2 kills in a random scrap in the mid lane, he can do anything.
It's true. But yeah, Draven is really hard.
Oh, and here it comes, round 2. Police is ignited. B does get the knockup, but it's Paulette that's tanking. Paulette will go down, but he'll do it for the cause. Oh, but Draven goes down. The League of Draven has ended prematurely. What an absolute tragedy. Null comes in to pick up the pieces, but truly now DBL is going to be a bunch of broken men. They don't know what to do now that the Draven has died.
Yeah, they need to wait for their savior to come back to life.
Yep. Exactly. Give him 3 days, and the Holy Spirit will return.
Oh, 3 days go by very quickly in League because he's already back.
Exactly. I know, quickest 3 days ever. Mary Magdalene was quick to go check the tomb. That's my. I'm not even Christian. I just went to a Christian school. Oh man.
Yeah, this bot lane has been a tragedy for Police and B. Police does not even get the shutdown. The shutdown went over to B, so he's now a very tanky Rakan, which does not really help the lane at all, because Police will get the focus anyway. Oh man!
Did you see how they set that play up? Paulette just walked forward and ignited Police. He just lit him on fire, and it just was like, yeah, you know what's about to happen. Look at this, they're doing it again!
Oh, come on, FTV. You have to know this is gonna happen.
Just give the tower up!
This is not even effective Draven play, by the way. He does not get any gold from his stacks. Oh, God.
He's already dead!
Multiple times. You know, you just want to hit that surrender button.
Kaido's in some trouble, but nope, the ult didn't knock him back nearly far enough, so he should be able to run away here.
Kaido has no idea.
Victory's here as well.
How Aurelia works, sadly.
Oh, what was that flash?
Why did he use W there? W does not get you damage reduction against magic damage anymore. Don't use your W.
Well, it means you don't get the micro stun when you're getting knocked away.
Okay, I guess. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, he stunned himself using the W there, so in the end.
Yeah, but... Yeah, true.
I mean...
He didn't really do anything, but whatever, it didn't really matter. He was going to eat it anyway.
And now look at Bikora's damage. Oh, very well done dive here from Zhu Hao. Nice flash. Double knock up from J4 is actually super hard to hit. So...
Absolutely.
Yep, great flash from Zhu Hao, redeeming himself for the smite fail in the first game.
And Draven's already got his Bloodthirster and another BF sword to the Bilgewater Cutlass.
And you know Draven knows this game is over when he goes for attack speed boots. We never see attack speed boots on Draven.
No, You never ever see that. He always goes
Defensive, yeah.
more defensive boots because you just don't really need the attack speed. You've got your W. Ooh, Null getting aggressed on. If he gets knocked up, Yasuo doesn't pull the trigger. They don't want to pull it off.
Yeah, that's not
Zhu Hao was working.
Yeah, I think they saw Zhu Hao's sweeper there, so they were very scared.
Oh man, you can bet that when the call was made, hey police, just go switch up to match Big Koro. Do I have to?
Yeah, he dives a little inside again.
Let Rika have it. Look at this. He just walks under tower and throws an axe at him.
It's so dumb playing against Raven in lane after he secured his Bloodthirster. He just goes on the turret, tanks 3 turret shots, goes back to the lane, hits the minion 3 times, is back to full HP, and you're like, what am I supposed to do against this?
I mean, when you feed him 5 kills, I think the question, what am I supposed to do, is pretty valid.
It's true.
Don't feed 5 kills.
Yep, that's a very valid and fair point. It still does not feel great to play this game now for police.
Nope, it does not. Victory's ignited, he's under tower. That wind wall, dude, does literally nothing.
Great wind wall. Looks fancy, looks fancy. And he got out of there, so did everything correctly.
Yep. Ooh, Kuriko coming in. They want to try and clean up the Draven. He's in the belly. Should be able to get 1. He does. Can he go for more? You know he's going to try.
Nice flash.
He lost his axe, so he couldn't get the W train going. But it's a 1-for-1. Another kill for Big Koro.
I'd like to see the BM tier on Big Koro so you can spam his abilities more.
No, I think he's collecting enough tiers. All of FTV's fans. Just sobbing in the arena.
Did you see how fast B went down, even though he's sitting on a ninja tabi as well?
It was like 3 auto attacks and he just...
Oh man. Big Ko!
Where's
the Draven been all the time? Give us more Draven.
Why have you not been playing this?
Now Gam's looking at this game and it's like they can play Draven. Maybe we want to pick Loki instead. We don't want Draven in our bot lane. The one game they lost in the second round robin was against Draven, in fact. So.
Yeah, Zin's sitting there going like, "Hey guys, if you make me play against this, I need to actually have a jungler." And Levi saying, "Wait, who are you? Have we met?"
Indeed. Wait, there's a weird guy in our house. Can we get him out of here?
Whoa!
Who is this one? Who is this guy? Why is there a fan in our house? He even has our jersey. Oh man, bot lane for Gum must be a very, very fun place to be.
I mean, I'm sure, like, obviously we joke and all of that, but it's obviously a very concerted team pick. So I highly doubt there's any, like, anger or anything from Zin. Like, of course.
He's a rookie as well, right? He's very, very happy just playing in the best team in the VCS and collecting the trophy, most probably. So.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I don't think he's looked bad.
No.
Oh, the Palette eats his ADC out of the air to protect him, but he goes down anyway. The Yasuo's picked up a kill, denying his own 0-10 power spike. Victory charging forward.
Is this a turnaround?
Kill being picked up on Kaido. Is it the turnaround? It might be. Tom Kent, you're too fat to run, son. We all know you're not getting away. And he goes down to police. He'll have a nice catfish dinner.
I really liked how he stopped to get the 100 shield there to activate his E1 last time.
Oh, nice. But Rika in the mid lane. Oh!
Wait, it's actually 11 to 10 and kills. FTV is winning this one.
Did you see that play out of Rika?
Great stuff. Great stuff. That was very good.
The goal difference is basically just Draven passive.
It is. Actually not that easy to play.
Can they get away?
Victory is grouping up from the top side. And police... Ooh, Null is actually cornered.
Police. Palette taking a lot of damage, but police now having to flash away. He goes down. Will he be the only one? There's a knock-up from Victory. And it will just be them walking away. Even on kills. Only 2k gold lead now. Did someone ask for a real VCS game?
11 to 11 at 15 minutes. Yeah, that's the way we go here. I think G2 yesterday had a game with 1.4 kills per minute. Maybe you can beat that. Right now we're on track.
Yeah, we're doing very well on that at the moment. Let's see if we keep it up.
Can we hit the 2? Is the question here.
2 kills a minute in professional play. Jesus.
I mean, professional play is a very strong term for this game.
True. I still remember the.
If you look at the bot lane performance, yeah, professional play indeed.
Yeah, I mean one bot lane.
It's true.
And I mean police is 3 and 4.
Yeah, and actually,
right?
you can't blame FTV's bot lane too much. I think they could have backed off sometimes when they got
the tower go down.
But yeah, their jungler completely abandoned them as well. Kuroku could have looked for some counterplay there. What are they supposed to do against 3 people constantly under the turret? It's
exactly
not a whole lot they can do. So to cut them some slack and not flame them too much. Usually B and police are a very good bot lane. Overstepped a little bit this game, but jungler also completely forgot that bot lane existed. He thought he was playing for Gum this game, which sadly for him is not the case. Luckily for Gum. Yeah, losing Levi wouldn't be too great for Gum.
No, yeah, definitely don't want to lose Levi. Rico making the big plays here onto Kaido. Kaido really not looking very good.
4 levels up. 4.
Maybe
what?
This is why we still see Rizo.
What?
Like, is Kaido the most overhyped player ever? Because we've heard so much hype about Kaido, but he's getting popped.
How is he 4 levels down? How is that a thing? What?
It's only 3 now. That's fine. 3 levels down, that's normal, right?
Wait, I have to go back to watch the top lane play out. How did this happen?
How did that happen? How did Rika win by this much? That's basically equalizing the Draven scene.
Yeah, and it's not even like he got the kills on lane. That's why Kaido couldn't enter lane anymore. He got the kills on skirmishes. Well, what has Kaido been doing in the last 17 minutes?
Did he DC?
I'm really curious. How can he be almost 4 levels down compared to Rika? That's this early in the game, at least.
He's a young guy. He's a solo queue monster. Like, maybe he was simulating his home environment by pretending his mum was yelling at him.
By the way, look at the item build for Rika. We're there. This is Old Rice. Let's go.
Can I just say, I called it.
Yeah, you did.
Frozen Heart.
All credit to you.
Somehow. But I think this. Also, I actually think this is the correct.
Yeah, it's a great choice.
You just need to survive in this game. You just need to put damage out. It's going to be hard to survive against Big Koro because he's going to absolutely smack you off the planet. But we see. Like,
what HP item can he build to get the most out of this one?
I mean, Righteous Glory?
I think actually you should just go for Rod of Ages now. It's late, but I mean, he gets a lot out of the stats, and
Roa, after its latest buffs, is gold efficient at 3 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. I think even at 1 minute, if I'm correct. I think it's at 98% gold efficiency with 0 stacks, and at 1 minute already tips it over. So
it's pretty ridiculous.
I'd actually like to see the Roa here.
No!
Yeah, he can easily 1v2, by the way.
Hello? Rika?
Yeah, there's no damage.
They might have overstepped. Now there is Big Koro's here. But Zhuhao has to flash away. The realm is being warped. Rika wants more, but actually he doesn't go in as Kuroko does.
For some reason, he didn't want to follow his own ult.
Let's go.
I mean, this game now is hard to win for DBL. We memed a lot on the start because it looked like Draven would just run over this game, but Rika is sitting at 2-4 as super strong rise.
FTV has done exactly what they need to do. They've built defensively. We see a Steric, second item on Yasuo, not going for the greedy IE. I think this is exactly what we want. We've got the early Zhonyas on Gragas going for that as his first non-jungle item. This is a really good reaction.
There was also a big discount on Ninja Tabe this game because everyone wanted to have them. Usually 1 or 2 guys like to go for Ninja Tabe, but this time their value rose a lot looking at the enemy team composition. So now everyone is opting for the very ugly brown boots just because they're this cheap and effective.
What do you mean? They're green.
Green? I guess green, brown, whatever you want to call it. It's greenish.
I'd wear Ninja Tamo. I'd wear Ninja Tamo.
Okay.
Got no style. They look like good work shoes.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And I mean, FTV is working on their way out of relegations. So.
True, yeah. FTV's got a big old staircase to build, but they're well on their way. They're doing a good job as brickies. That's what we call bricklayers, by the way.
I thought so. I thought Dragon, so.
Right, Dragon. Now this would be the third drag picked up for DBL. They're working on their rainbow, but FTV can definitely try and fight this. The Dragon's down, but do they want to try and pick up a kill? The Predator's popped. There's the Grag Assault. No Yasuo follow-up, though. There's another one. Victory still not pulling the trigger here.
Yeah, I don't think he has skilled ult this game.
Yeah, why are you
He's really refusing to do this.
Want to ult, man?
Focus your eyes on Rika. No damage on Rika. Now a little bit of true damage with the Conqueror. He's still alive.
Oh.
Still alive, by the way.
This is now a 2 for 2. There he goes. Doesn't want to take on Big Koro, though. Oh, Big Koro still hitting so hard. He's in a lot of trouble, though, because of the W's, and down he goes. In the end, it's a 3 for 2, and the Dragons secured for DBL. Unfortunate there. They really needed to pull the trigger on Victory.
I really don't understand why Victory refused to use his ult. I think they just agreed it for ult on a Big Koro, but yeah, I mean there's a Tam Kench, right? So Tam Kench can just wait for the ult on Big Koro and then eat him. You pretty much have to hit Tam Kench and Draven to get the really effective ult. But just go on go on top of Renekton. Like, why not? Take out Renekton. He's super strong right now, and he's actually not that tanky. So just kill the Renekton.
You also, if you're FTV, you don't necessarily have to see this game as kill Big Koro and win.
No.
You can also see it as protect Rika and win.
Absolutely.
Rika is doing just as much as Big Koro in these fights. Like, Big Koro is going to be hitting a fair bit harder. He does have 7 kills. But Ryze has the better AoE.
Yeah, and Ryze is almost unkillable.
Ult there. Like, oh, God, I don't understand. There was like 3 opportunities to get a good Yasuo ult, but he just only wanted to go on Big Koro.
Okay, Police was not there in the beginning, so Police only just now entered the fight. Actually gets a lot of damage on Big Koro and forces him out of the fight. So I think actually he should have just focused the bot side of the fight and not.
Ooh, look at live. Kaido having to flash away here. He's getting collapsed on if we look in the picture-in-picture.
Yep.
Get found there.
Yeah, he's too fast, but at least the flash is not forced. We see the last kill go down in the last team fight. That was 900 gold. 900 gold for the
knock
Raven.
up on Kuriko. He's in some trouble. Police uses the culling. There's the big Yasuo ult. 3-man Yasuo. He's going to clean up the backline. Misses the Q on Big Koro, though, so he's not going to be able to get it. Rika in the middle of the enemy team. This is not good at all for FTV. Police, you've got it all to do. Can you round these crooks up? Put them away. No, you can't. Run away.
Draven.
Won today.
Bam. And that's Baron as well. The very easy Baron. And FTV, what have you done? You could have won this game, by the way. Definitely was winnable. But now the Baron will go over to DBL, and this Draven, after losing some steam in the mid game, is now back to being 3-4 items ahead of the enemy ADC. So, this might just be over.
Was in the middle of it. I mean, Kuriko got caught, which is bad. He got a good ult off pairing up with Victory, but then Rika was just in the middle of the enemy team. Rika can't be getting hit by Big Koro.
I mean, looking at his itemization, he actually wants to be in the middle of the enemy team, right? But there was just no damage in his team to kill the Renekton, most importantly. I think they are really messing up their target selection. They should just try to kill the Renekton. Look at this Renekton. It does so much damage in the tides.
That was a really good Yasuo ult, though. But this is the big thing. Look at Victory. Misses the Q.
Oh,
he hits that.
It was very close as well.
Yep, he hits that.
And Rika's perma-CC, he gets 1 EQ off. Imagine how the team fight would have gone if he got 2 or 3 EQs across the team. It was only 1 because he got perma-CC'd. So there's still a chance for FTV, I'd say, if they get the perfect team fight.
Kaido still basically doesn't think so.
Yeah, that's true. Kaido's just there for the CC. He just wants to hit the flawless duet on any priority target. He's pretty much a Peel Irelia. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a Peel Irelia, but this is one. And we are still definitely above 1 kill per minute, not close to 2 kills per minute, so both teams need to step up.
Yeah, we need come on, guys. Let's get this going. Let's just team fight. Don't push after.
And do you think
50 minutes
Big Cur can rival Slater's scoreline on Draven?
I mean, yeah, honestly.
He needs 8 more kills.
Yeah, I honestly think he can get 8 more kills before this game ends.
Yeah, it's possible.
Especially, look at his build. He's already got 4 complete items. He's got 4.5 items at 25 minutes.
Police got out of there because everything missed.
Somehow. Yeah, and they're going in the bot lane. Guys, I don't know if that's really what you want to be focusing, but Null just goes over the...
Zhuhao?
Zhuhao? What have you just done? What was the point?
Oh man, he's a very hypey
Don't
player.
worry, Null, I'll save you.
What was that? Tank J4, I'm helping. That was a classic I'm helping. But yeah, in the end, does not really cost them anything, so whatever.
I mean, it costs them a Jarvanol, but that won't be a cost they particularly care about.
No. What was that? That was strange to look at. I want to look at Draven, because he's more interesting.
I mean, of course you want to look at Draven. It's Draven.
Yep. It's... What can I say? That's true.
Everyone wants to look at Draven.
Interesting item build, by the way. He's full build, yeah.
If that's the correct build.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, totally.
Not another IE over penetration?
You need the pen for Rika.
Yeah, that's true.
Rika's what matters for FTV. You just need to be able to kill him.
He's only sitting on 50% crit, but I guess that doesn't really matter for Draven. He's actually not the best crit champ. No.
Draven doesn't need 100. This is a good build. I like this. I mean, I'd hold off on selling boots probably for a little while.
Yeah, Draven likes to have a lot of mobility in teamfights. I don't think he will. Maybe for Trinity.
Ooh, Zhuhao caught. Oh, but he flashes for a Triforce. Wow.
Yeah, I think that's actually okay with Draven because you get the Triforce stacks with Q very easily and W as well in teamfights. So you actually get a lot of mobility. Yeah, I think
people forget Draven hits a lot of abilities because every time you catch an axe, you press W.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Triforce actually is a good option to remove your boots, but he's probably just...
Or a GA, if you really want to go defensive.
Yeah, but then you're very slow.
Eaten up, but he's taking a lot of damage. Draven is dead. I repeat, Draven is dead. FTV has a chance in the fight. They need to go through this realm war. What was wrong with that? I don't understand, but they've gotten 3 kills. Kaido on the run. He's going to get caught up. Almost certainly. No, they pull off. They don't want to go after Kaido and the Croc.
Kaido does not exist, so I just don't care about Kaido. They got the teamfight victory, big shutdown on Victoria, even though his flash was available, great Rakan play. And this is a big problem for Draven, because, yeah, it's Draven. Oh, Kaido actually gets caught. So now, will they have enough time to get the inhibitor here? It's 17 seconds on Big Core. Inhibitor is risky.
No, they
don't think so either.
Will be adequate in the wave out. It wasn't enough minions.
No.
They're still trying to just annoy you, Kaido, but don't quite have him.
Could have actually tried to kill Null and get an even better reset timing. And look at this, he sold his penetration item for GA. That's a strange choice.
I don't like that. Should have sold your boots, if anything.
Or the Mercurials, because apparently he does not use the Mercurials. He used it there, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't really do much. There's actually an interesting mechanic.
Ult, Kaido?
That was terrible.
What?
Kaido is
he just ulted the minions. Okay. That happened. That happened.
There's actually an interesting mechanic that can happen with Yasuo and Mercurial. If you are on top of a blast cone and Yasuo triggers it, he can ult you. But if you Mercurial while you're in the air, he can't.
Okay.
It still moves you, but it cleanses the airborne status. It's so silly, but that is how it works.
You can also just cleanse the Yasuo ult, right?
Yeah, you can cleanse the Yasuo ult, but it still moves the Yasuo on top of you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Which
Yasuo
is
has now
often
finally hit 100% crit as well, which is quite significant in the teamfights, I think. If he gets a little bit of time on top of the Draven, you could actually just kill the Draven setup. I really don't like this item choice, by the way, for Vikor. I really disagree with his GA over penetration. I think GA should have come in.
These team fights aren't long enough for GA.
No. And I think penetration was the right call against Rika. I think you're right there. So I think it's better to stall off either Bloodthirster or the Mercurials to get the GA.
No, you never sell Bloodthirster. You need the shield.
Yep. So then just
sell the Mercurial.
Yeah. He didn't use the flash last team fight, and yet the Mercurials should have been able to flash away. It's a bad sign for DBL's team fighting chances that he's not able to get out of there, and the gold lead is actually almost negligible now, with only 4k.
Yeah, this doesn't mean much. The Baron is being started here by FTV, going down pretty quickly as well. Null throws himself in, goes into the Zhonya's to buy time. Kaido coming in for the flank, but
Kaido, are you serious?
Established wind wall. Kaido, what are you doing? And now the fight's going horribly. Paulette will go down. Big Koro is the only one to survive. The GA he hasn't going to do anything because it's not even going to. It's not even procced in the fight. He runs away, but he gets tagged by the Argent Blaze.
He was ignited. He was ignited.
I thought he had
I think he was ignited.
I'll have to look at the replay. But,
in the end,
my god, Kaido!
5-4-0 team fight for FTV. Rika coming in strong.
They win!
Yeah, this is just game. They teleport the minions under the turret, so they circumvent the vector bonus, and yeah, there it is. 32 minutes. FTV win the big team fight. Draven loses, so Draven is retired.
We're not going to get a replay because they don't do replays after game. Can we go back and watch that last team fight?
We can, yeah, definitely. Let's look at that one again.
Because, my word, that was so badly played out of Kaido. So I'm at 31-13, which is when the team fight's about to start.
Okay, I'm at 30 now as well. Let's count 1, 2, 3.
Wait, you're at 30. What?
31-13 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. So you see, here's Kaido coming in. This is a good flank. Null does this really well. He buys time. Kaido has the opportunity to just walk forward a little bit.
What was that, Kaido? And I'll focus your eyes on Rika. Look at the damage from Rika. Another crit, and Rika gets the last kill on Team Kench. I really want to see the damage totals. Sadly, we don't get to see the damage totals in the VCS. Yeah, I think it was Ignite. Yeah.
It was.
But whatever, he would have died anyway, so... GA, by the way, great item on ADCs. Super useful. Always buy GA. And tilt your caster. I hate GA on ADCs.
I mean, I hate to say
it's so
but
useless.
That last fight was almost entirely Kaido's fault. If he had hit the Irelia ult, that would have hit 5 people, put them in the slow, and it would have given everyone else on DBL so much room to move. They might not have won the fight regardless, because Rika played it super, super well. But what did Kaido do that game? I only noticed him throw 2 ults, and one was into an already established wind wall, and the other was in a minion.
Yeah, it's true. I think it was also the team fight opening was not great for DBL because they all came from from the same direction, and that's super dangerous into Ryze, right? Because Ryze can just EQ everyone, and then he spread 3-4k damage in the first second of the fight, and you almost immediately want to exit the fight already, but then you can't. So I think the team fight setup also was not right, even though you're absolutely correct. Kaido did nothing the whole game, and the last team fight was atrocious. Ooh, not a great showing for the rookie, and maybe that's the reason we only see Reizo.
I'd bring Reizo back after that. That's really not good enough. I don't know if maybe he's just nervous on the stage, which, can't really blame him for. It is pretty scary. But if you're going to play like that, it's just not good enough.
And FTV still alive.
Their hopes are alive. This is huge. You're just playing a best of 1 now. You're playing a best of 1 to see if you can avoid relegations. That's huge.
Yeah, this is now come down to a nail biter, and I really like the Rice play for Rika. Let's see if
Yep.
DBL wants to take away the Rice.
I mean, I think Rika MVP.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think Rika played a great Rice game. I'm still unsure how he got up to four level lead in the side lane. 4 level lead in top lane against. I mean, we sometimes see 4 level leads in jungle, right? Because one of the junglers is a ganking jungler. Yeah, especially. And he goes for Karthus or something. ATCS lead in the jungle, which is something that can happen, even if the other jungler is not completely misplaying. Because you just want to gank, and if your ganks don't hit, maybe you don't get the levels. But a 4 level lead in the side lane matchup, where nothing happened in lane, is confusing, to say the least.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. But we're going to have to find out if FTV can keep themselves out of relegation and take what should be a bit of an unthinkable series win over DBL in just under 5 minutes. Hope you'll be joining us, guys.
Welcome back to another game of VCS action, and now we're in Game 3 between FTV and DBL. Remember, FTV actually holds the 1-0 head-to-head, so if they win here, they are 2-0 on season against DBL. One of the most important enemies then to avoid relegations.
Yeah.
Which team do you favor in this last one? I think Kaido is still in, right?
Well,
Looks like Kaido is still
we
in.
need to see who's playing. Because if Kaido is still in, I almost favor FTV. Because Big Koro, dude's really good, don't get me wrong, but he's not going to do that again. Oh, it's very unlikely. You don't often pull games like that off twice. And, Kaido, when Rika makes you look like a bad... That's not good, is it?
That's really not good. Look at the DPM. Look at the DPM.
That's absurd. That is actually ridiculous.
That's a lot. That's almost 900 on a rise.
On his back.
Yeah, and great itemization choices. We often, I mean, Rika was one of the players we harshly criticized when he went for no MR as a Camille into triple AP topside and lost the game for FTV. Now he adapted his item choices, went full armor. I think he was sitting on almost 200 in this game. Just stood there, fired off his great combos. Oh, Riser's back in, so okay, great.
Okay, good. Okay, now I favor DBL.
Yeah,
I think it'll be closer.
It's a strange thing to see, to say, right? Because we have been very critical. I mean, Razor has not played very well in the last few weeks.
I don't think we've been unfairly critical. No. But we have been critical.
But looking at the game from Kaido, I think Razor is a better top laner. That's not a great sign for DBL actually coming into playoffs. They really hoped Kaido would give them a new strong top side. Because right now, top side is a big problem against the other top teams. Against Gum, it's a super huge problem. You can't do anything against them.
Ooh. It's backbreaking
against Gum. It is.
Now, coming in, I think we may well see Rika's Rise being banned out. What a crazy thing to say. Yumi and Morg, they're the first ones being removed. Do you let him have it another game? He's had 2 really good games on it.
Maybe you try to once again go Akali into Rise and dominate the top lane, because he got the solo kill on the... Did you get the solo kill on the Rise or the Corki? I'm not sure about it. The Akali looked great. I'd like to see an Akali ban for FTV here, deny the safest champ from Razor, force him on something he has to kind of commit to, right, in the lane, because Akali is just too safe. What do you want to see for the bot lanes? Police once again on the Lucian?
Well, Police not getting... Well, he can't.
Oh, Lucian is banned. Yeah, you're right.
Lucian banned out, so won't be getting that. And Renekton removed as well. Interesting, considering Null played that last game. And Akali being taken out, so they're not even going to have that option.
Yeah, I really like this. Will they go for the Aatrox first pick? Aatrox has not been featured too much in this match. No. I'd like to see the Aatrox actually here. Irelia is a good choice as well.
Irelia hover.
I'm not sure if I like this Irelia first pick for Dashing Buffalo. I think jungle, maybe something like Salas would have been the better option. Obviously, Yumi is banned away, so no high priority.
Are they going to go back into the Gragowo?
It looks like it. Ooh.
You've got to pick both halves of it. Yep.
There it is. Another Gregor. Did we like the Gregor last game?
It looked a little bit iffy at times, but I think it ended up being all right.
It's very good with the AP top lane as well, right? You have the AD in the mid lane, so opening up the possibility to go Rise again. I mean, he had a great Rise into Irelia game last game. I'm not quite sure why it went so well for him, and if he's able to repeat this performance against Razor.
I mean, he did it against an Irelia last game, right?
Yeah, it's true. So
why not do it again?
It's Irelia Sejuani. That's a very good combination to punish top laners.
And Braum being picked up as a support. They thought about going for the Kai'Sa. I mean, why not run the Draven again? It worked.
Kind of did.
I mean, it definitely wasn't Big Koro's fault that they lost.
Yeah, he still had some positioning mistakes in the later stage of the game, and was not as impactful as he should have been, looking at his gold numbers.
That's true. But FTV do take away that Kaiser, so it doesn't matter what you were thinking of DBL, you don't get it.
And no Rise secured, so now very easy Rise ban for Dashing Buffalo, right? Why would they not ban the Rise here?
It doesn't make sense not to. The Varus being banned out, taking out the ADCs they don't want to play against, makes sense.
Varus, is this a bot lane ban or a mid lane ban?
I think it's bot lane.
Yeah, Varus mid lane against Yasuo does not make a whole lot of sense, so yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. We've seen a lot of Varus mid lane actually, but I'm not too keen on
against it. Against Yasuo, everything just gets windwalled.
Yeah.
And they also ban out the Ashe.
Double utility ADC ban.
I mean, Ashe is an interesting one to ban because it's pretty hard to have teamfight impact as Ashe against Yasuo.
It's true.
He puts up a
but it's a very, very strong bot lane though. Ashe, Braum.
Yeah, it is a very strong bot lane. And Nautilus is the final ban. Rise is being left open, and Thresh is the supportive choice. They're leaving the counter pick for Rika. They want to make sure that it's a top lane Irelia, because obviously that could still be for Null.
Yep.
And give him the counter
Interesting.
pick. They can also flex for Yasuo. Yasuo can go top.
Yeah. I can kind of understand why they're hesitant on picking up the Rise, because Rise into Irelia Sidorani sounds very dangerous. If the Rise has to flash early on, he's just dead all the time. Like, it's so easy to gank
That's
him.
what happened last game, though, right?
It's true.
I don't know how.
The first game, right?
I don't know how. No, because I saw it, and I didn't see the early first game.
So this might be a mid lane Sylas now. Into Yasuo. That's an interesting choice as well. Sylas should be a very easy target to kill at level 6 actually, so don't quite understand why they're... Okay. This...
Reek is Poppy!
More of an ADC... I actually like the Poppy more here. I think Poppy or Rice.
Yeah. Goes for the Camille. He's been pretty good on Camille.
He's been very good on Camille. But now damage profile problems come in as well. We might see Police opt into the more AP heavy Kaiser build, so that he brings a little bit more AP DPS to the table as well later on. If Kurko falls behind, it's very easy to itemize against FTV though. We should see a lot of Ninja Tabai against Yasuo, against Kaiser, not Kalista, and Camille.
Yeah, I mean, if it was Kalista, you'd still want the Tabby.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, a little bit of a magic damage deficit. Gragas obviously deals a fair bit of damage, but it's not a huge amount. It's only that one source.
I like the playmaking coming out of FTV's comp. I like B on the Thresh to maybe set up the Yasuo even more. You can get the long range initiation on the Yasuo ult with the Thresh as well. Don't have to commit the Gragas ulti then.
Very, very true.
Maybe look for a mid lane roam early on in the game. Give Police a back timer, and then roam Thresh into the mid lane to get the first kill on the Yasuo. Would be an interesting plan. And Braum can't really respond, right? Braum is not a great roaming champion. He can be there to defend, but he's not there to actively roam. So,
yeah.
What's this about?
MVPs, I assume. MVP game 1, game 2, but he didn't get MVP game 1. I don't know what this means.
This is strange. I don't understand.
What does Luwot D mean? Someone help us. Not sure what was going on, but regardless.
We'll jump into game, and this one will be the most important game all split for FTV. If they win, they're secured for 2020. If they lose, they have to go to relegations. QG is sitting at home, anxiously following this game as well.
Yeah. I mean, QG's got to be pretty... I mean, if you're QG, you would have thought you were pretty safe. Look at this.
Seriously?
Are you kidding me, guy?
Oh, this is an interest. Oh, I actually like this for the experience, right? You get experience from a ward. So I want to give the surprise level 2 experience spike to the Yasuo.
MVP on previous encounter.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the last time they played against each other, Kuriko went top lane with a Ryze and
Yeah,
ended
you're
the game
right.
with a quarter kill.
Yeah, I remember that. That makes sense. Thank you for the translation there, Peng.
And do you know what the
Uh,
first game was where Rika got the MVP?
I don't remember.
I
Was
think he
that just
played
Poppy?
Poppy. Yeah, I think he played Poppy at top lane and also went off like 405 or something.
Yeah,
Um,
wasn't that the one where he dove Rizo at one
yeah,
point?
yeah, yeah. And the second game, he brought out the mid lane Nocturne, and they
Yeah.
just stomped DBL.
Rika winning that trade so hard.
It's no
Good
fun
trade out of
early
Rika.
on against the Camille. Against it's the press the attack Camille, nonetheless. Less really like Rika's
Yep.
choice here. No Conqueror into Conqueror,
Rika
and
came to play today.
Rika is looking really good at the back half of the
Yeah.
split. We
What
criticized
the?
him a
Yeah,
lot.
Rika.
I think he found his gems, right? He tried a lot of different gems in the beginning of the split. Looking at his most played, he played some Akali, some Aurelia, some Nocturne, some Jax, Nico, and all of those didn't really look too great. His Nocturne mid was okay, but then he found his Camille, he found the Poppy, and those two gems have been carrying his team and him in the last
Yeah,
few
absolutely.
weeks.
Absolutely. And if it could pull them up out of the relegation, that'd be the redemption story. Be a hell of a redemption story. And as I was saying before, if you're QG and FTV ends up coming out on top, you've got to be a little bit salty at DBL here. Like, come
And
on, DBL.
you're
What's
also
going on with
gonna
them?
be a little bit scared, right? Because QG's form
Yeah. QG's been really bad.
0-7 losing streak, losing to Loki in the most devastating manner possible. They got stomped in two 20-minute games without any chance. They looked
Yeah,
completely lost.
Loki just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
Kuruko, is he going to try and commit for this steal? He
I've-
is spotted. His top laner has the first roam.
But yeah,
So I think
this
he
mid laner is here as well.
And he's got the mid laner as well. Yeah, but Zhuhao has to back off. And it's a successful buff steal.
I think QG is already pretty salty because DBL is playing their substitute jungler, Zhuhao. We're still not sure if this is actually something they want to build on, like go full TSM and go for your substitute jungler into the playoffs.
Yeah, that worked out great for
Yeah,
TSM.
yeah. At least
Acadian is our jungler. The video title that will live on in infamy.
Yeah, I think it's probably something about Meliodas because every time Meliodas has been subbed out, it was something like a health issue or
You might have something.
just give Shuao the not so important games. So I think Meliodas will be the starting jungler for the playoffs, especially because Zhuhao also has not really impressed me. I think he has been average, not great.
Yeah, I agree. And we do have to remember that while we are talking about how much this game matters for FTV, for DBL, it's meaningless.
Yeah, it's really meaningless.
So, for them, this is just let's see how Zhuhao goes. Maybe Meliodas is sick. Maybe he just wants a night off.
Yep. And they always like to sub him in not so
that.
important games, even in international, right? He was subbed in for MSI for a few games when Meliodas was in fact not able to play. I think he was sick or something. Maybe he was injured. So always coming in some of the games.
You want to keep your subs like ready to go.
I think having jungle subs right now does not really make a whole lot of sense in my opinion because the jungle meta is very straightforward.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree with that. But if you've got them,
Yeah,
you may as well give
of course.
them plays so they're not rusty. Looking down across the map, it's pretty even so far. The only potential break is actually up in this top lane. Reizo could try and set up a bit of a freeze and potentially get a bit of a CS lead. But B, going forward there, use the flash into the flay, but Kuriko wasn't really close enough. In the end, that's just a wasted summoner spell.
Yeah.
Not what you want to see.
This is a very frustrating matchup for the Thresh. If you ever play Thresh in solo queue, Braum is one of those matchups where it's just like, okay, you locked in Braum, you don't want to have fun, and you want me to have even less fun. That's just with Braum. Braum is, yeah, I like Braum as well, but in lane, it's not that interesting, and especially with something like Asriel, it's not a Braum and Lucian lane where you can go for the kills. Braum and S will
Yeah, true.
not do anything in lane, so it's just to deny the thresh.
You just turn your voice line volume up and let Braum's positivity flow through into
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You can't get tilted when you're playing Braum.
Oh, Braum is a great champ.
Yeah. And this is going to be a Mountain Drake secured early here for FTV. Kuriko soloing that one out because he had control of the jungle.
This might come back to be very important for FTV, because Mountain Drake with a double ADC, if you look at Victory on the Yasuo as an ADC, with Wind Wall as well, Wind Wall, one of the best abilities against Baron, might give them a sneaky Baron opportunity later on.
Very, very true. They have a lot of Baron damage. They take Baron very, very quickly.
Now with the Mountain Drake even...
looking for the play. Rika, he's not reading that there's a jungler here. He has absolutely no idea. Ryzo going forward, but the flawless duet misses.
Wait, did he even activate the second part of the flawless duet?
Yeah, he did, but it just completely missed. Okay. He did.
Yeah, I don't quite understand why they didn't wait for Zhuao to get level 6, to get the very easy, or the knockup, yeah. Just chain the CCs, you don't have to hit the flawless duet if it's a stationary target, you just have to readjust the angle. That's very easy to do. So don't understand why you want to open up with flawless duet. That's not a great call.
Yep, does not make sense to me. And Rika survives to fight another day. Now it'll be Kuriko doing the bit of the sneaky beaky.
He's not level 6 either, by the way. both junglers want to gank on level 5.
Might get it from Lito, but never mind, because there is the Hextech ultimate blocking in Ryzo, and Ryzo goes down, but Rika doesn't get the kill. He had no mana, so then maybe they just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, they really tried to give it over to Rika, but in the end, Gragas had to take it. Very easy secure on the Hextech ultimatum there. They didn't even have to invest the Gragas ultimate, so that's still available for a gank on the mid lane against for your Yasuo, I should say. So nice.
Is pretty easy to do that too.
Absolutely. I don't quite understand your Sylas pick into the Yasuo Gragas. I think you give Yasuo absolutely free lane, probably even with turret pressure.
There's a lot of good ults, I guess. Maybe they were looking at the ults.
I mean, other than the Gulag and the Gragas ult.
The Gulag and the Hextech Gulag are both good.
The Hextech Gulag, okay. That's next level.
We need to be able to differentiate. I mean, they're both pretty good. The Gragas ult is good.
The Thresh ult is not that great, right?
Really? Thresh ult?
I think Thresh is one of the most useless ults for support.
Really?
Yeah, it has no hard CC. There's no hard CC.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
A lot of slow though.
Yeah, but you have to go into to replace the slow. I really don't like these. It's one of the reasons he's not a great late game support, because he doesn't have a real ult compared to Braum. Look at Braum's ult. It's zoning, it's knock up, it's I'll everything.
Give you that. Braum's is better. I don't think it's like the best. I just don't think it's that bad. I think it's better on Sylas than it is on Thresh.
Yeah,
Sylas
that's true.
In the middle of
that's for sure. Wind wall in interesting directions.
Yeah, not exactly correct. And the Gragas ult is used. Is the Yasuo ult going to be used in response? It is. The Ignite is down, but Victory with the classic Yasuo player flashing on the spot, dying.
He really overestimated his damage and underestimated the damage of Sylas.
He also just screwed his wind wall.
Yeah.
That wind wall was terrible. Good splash by Kuriko, but
he still gets slowed there. So that's actually detrimental there. Yeah. Double flash in as well. Yeah. They do not give over the kill to Razor. I think they kind of wanted to give it over to Razor, but then Null came in and said, "No, I want this. This is mine." I mean, fair enough. He got another kill afterwards, so the kill was kind of warranted.
Exactly. I'd love to see a replay on that mid lane fight.
Oh no, please no.
A bit silly. I just want to see what that wind wall was, because that was awful. But Rift Herald now secured, and the bot lane for FTV has rotated up to top.
Very good timing to rotate top, because there's only an Ocean Drake, and you don't care about Ocean Drake. So getting the first the first move on the Rift Herald is very good for you. can go possibly for the first turret. I don't think the turret is low enough to secure the first turret right away, but yeah, at least you get 2 more platings. It's easily in time for plating gold. Actually, a very early Rift Hold. We seldomly see a Rift Hold secured prior to 11 minutes. So, yep, nicely done. Good rotation from FTV.
Yep. DBL do answer it. So the CS is very even up in that ADC position. A little bit, actually, a pretty big gap growing between Razor and Rika. Just the minion positioning this game has not been great for Rika.
No. Even in the early game, he already lost some minions because he perma pushed the lane and lost a few CS in the perma push, and then Razor was able to freeze on him, deny all the ranged creeps because you can't really go for ranged creeps as a melee into the turret. So very bad wave management from Rika, not from Razor, which is surprising because Razor is probably the worst wave manager in the league.
I mean, maybe they've been practicing it, right? It's not that like managing your wave's not that hard, so there's not too much to teach him, thankfully.
And now 30 CS at 12 minutes. This looks like the reverse of the last game, where Rika for some reason was 50 CS up at 17 minutes.
Yeah.
At least he's not fallen behind in levels too much, so at least he's keeping pace with the levels.
Gets through the wind wall, but doesn't land.
And they have not gotten a single Gragas Yasuo play yet. They really want to get that first Yasuo kill and get him rolling. He doesn't have his flash available. Might wait for level 11. How much stronger is the level 2 Yasuo ult compared to the level 1 Yasuo ult? I'm actually not too familiar with. No, right? It doesn't really make the huge amount of a difference. So. It's hard to kill the Null though. Look at his itemization. He's sitting on Aftershock and a lot of armor. So
yeah,
not the best.
Yeah, I mean the Aftershock's the big thing here. That was a really good decision by Null to go into that. Yasuo does get a little bit of armor pen with the ult, but still.
Yep, it's not enough to cut through Aftershock, and it gives Null the opportunity to disengage after maybe you got caught by victory. I'm not sure how the side lane matchup will work out. I give the advantage over to Yasuo in the late game, but it's not game for sure. It's not clear. I think he'll win prolonged trades, especially with the Conqueror as well. But yeah, there's definitely something the Salas can do even in the side lane matchup, and if he's able to disengage, Yasuo can't really kill.
Yeah, and there is a delicious bit of gold for police picking up those turret plates. Ooh, there was a Gragas ult.
For absolutely no reason. Yeah, good question. I don't know.
Not going to be seeing a Gragas Yasuo play for a little while though.
Not the best start for FTV. But they still have kept up in gold, especially with their early Rift Hold play. And they have secured the first 2 dragons. So next dragon will be important, and we might see the first big fight of the game around the Infernal Drake.
Yeah, Infernal Drake is pretty important for both teams here. They definitely want those free stats. And again, Gragas Yasuo fighting around early dragons. We definitely want that. I mean, if you're an FTV fan, you definitely want it. Ooh, Victory's in a lot of trouble here. Has to flash. The lantern should come out. Where is it? B.
Too late.
That was really, really late.
Yeah, and Victory once again used his flash and did not get out of there. So another death. He's working towards his 10 death power spike. Still far away, so needs to work on those, on the pace. Because the game will be over before he gets 10 death. And his power spike will never kick in. Sadly for FTV.
So unfortunate.
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. What was the lantern? Where was it? Was it on cooldown for something?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was on cooldown. Maybe he was not sure where to put the lantern. But to be honest, just put it anywhere and the Yasuo will get it. So, not the greatest decision by B. Also not great by Yasuo to wander into the enemy jungle without any vision and just get caught. Have to say that's not on B, that's just on the Yasuo.
Yeah, absolutely. He was going for a Raptor steal without thinking. And this could be a tower going down in the top lane. A lot of pressure on it at the moment. Can't see its health bar because the icons are on top of it, but I imagine it is going down. Yep, and there it is. First brick secured for DBL. And this could be the play coming in. Nope, as Victory launches himself back towards the mid lane. They don't want to go for it.
30 seconds on the Infernal Drake, so let's see who gets the vision advantage right now. Pressure on the bot lane definitely in favor of FTV, so they should be able to establish some vision control. We see 2 pink wards come down. No pink ward in the inventory though, so if DBL gets some control over the area, they have more vision to establish. There's no possibility to re-pink for FTV available, so now they have to be careful with the reset timings.
Yeah.
So spotted by
recalling.
DBL.
So already he might be a little bit late. Rika working on this top lane tower while Rizo's already moved down. Dragon is started for DBL. Are we going to have the contest? I think we sort of need to if FTV wants to do anything in this game. And nope, there goes the Infernal. When are you going to pull the trigger, FTV?
Yeah, that's just very poor play for FTV. Not contesting this Baron, this Dragon with Gragas Yasuo with vision advantage close to the pit and with bot lane push is very lazy. I don't really understand why they didn't do anything to really contest there. They didn't even try, right? They recalled B in the worst possible time and just handed it over to the enemies.
Yeah, it was not good. I don't understand that. You have to use the Gragas Yasuo. Like, if you're going to pick it, you have to use it. Otherwise, it's just a really ineffective duo.
And especially
Yasuo is not a good enough mid laner on his own to justify the pick.
Yeah, and there was no Manamune yet on the Ezreal, so actually the item timing was in favor of FTV there. Now the Manamune is there, so Ezreal is close, I should say, to his 2-item big mid-game power spike, where he will outperform Kai'Sa in teamfights, even though she is the Manamune as well, and it's on 2 items as well, so she's actually quite strong, but not quite as annoying in teamfights and doesn't bring the same utility the Ezreal brings, so very strange decision by FTV.
So
I think it shows a little bit that they're very nervous, right? They need to win this game.
Yeah, this is such an important game for them. It's difficult to get that mentality out, but you do need to, though. You don't win a game of League of Legends taking 0 risks.
Especially a Grago game, right? You need to get the early kills. You need the...
Uses the Hextech ultimatum, trying to get away, flashes over the wall, and actually will escape. Well done, and they pick up Paulette as well, so they actually come out positive. And it's only a 200 gold game. In fact, it's less. It's less than 100 gold.
The game plan for DBL has been laid out very clearly, right? They revisit the top lane again and again, wanted to go for the gank on Rika, and Rika has been great at not falling to the ganks. Instead, he actually got the first blood on the enemy top laner, or he participated in the first blood. He didn't actually get the kill credit, but they got the first blood, even though he was camped from DBL's jungler. So great performance out of Rika. We don't actually see Rika games not go to no kills in the top lane too often. Most of the time, it's either him killing the enemy top laner or the enemy top laner just collecting kill after kill on Rika.
Very true. Ooh, pretty just bad positioning for Paulette. Just caught out and taken down.
Yep, he face checked the bush, and there was a Gragas in there, so he was dead. Very easily. No backup for DBL as well, so they tried to get the top lane play, and Paulette still went for the enrage. That's a little bit ill-advised, right? He has to wait for his team to be there to back him up. Instead, he just died for nothing.
Victory should be able to get away. Oh, he fails to dash over the wall. He's in a lot of trouble. Has to use his flash again. Oof. This has been a rough Yasuo game for Victory.
Did he have to use his flash there? Only support and jungle on top of him. I'm not sure yet.
Null was close enough that in the CC chain, Null would have caught up.
You think so? Yeah, maybe.
And Null could have stolen his ult. If you hit the E, you can use the Yasuo ult.
Fair enough. I think he could have
It would have
just...
been better if he hadn't failed the dash.
That's for sure. I think he could have tried to get out of there and maybe flash in the last second if you can't get out of there. But Flash looked
Yeah,
a
maybe.
little bit preemptive to me. But whatever. He's once again a Yasuo without a flash. No IE finished yet either. So FTV right now does not really want to fight. They want to wait for their big 2-item power spike on the Yasuo. But at least this Kai'Sa is very strong. Let's talk about this Kai'Sa a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's very, very strong. Obviously gone the correct build of the Muramana and the Rage Blade. No Storm Razors in my house, which I'm very happy to see. Lots of blue in the two ADC's item builds.
Yeah,
I mean, the big problem here is that Victory, even when he gets the IE, which he has just finished, he's still behind Null. Null's picked up 3 kills in this.
Null is super strong. Yeah, but at least he now has a lot of damage. He will go down very quickly. Very squishy Yasuo. But if they get the pick, he's now able to contribute a lot of damage to the picks. I have to say, Police, I really like his item choices. As he said, it's the correct build. And it's also very good to go for Nashers now, because they need some AP damage. I think he's going AP in this game. And that's the right choice. They already have in the crit ADC and Yasuo, so go for the AP ADC, kind of whatever the correct term is for that. The AP Kai'Sa, to diversify your damage profile, right? You need some AP damage here.
Yep, the AP marksman, something like that.
Yeah, the Azir 2.0.
We don't need any more Azirs. One Azir is more than enough.
We actually don't see too much Azir here in Vietnam.
Not in Indonesia,
much more Corki.
Yeah, I mean, Corki's easy. Corki's really, really easy.
Definitely way easier than Azir.
Yeah. Wind Wall being used to defend that turret. Ryzo gets hooked, but they won't actually follow up on it. Oof, that Ezreal did so much following up on the Glacial Fissure, but that was 3 ults being used there by DBL for practically nothing.
I mean, they get the priority on the Mountain Drake, which is great, because they equalize the Dragon count. And 2 Mountain Drakes to FTV would be super dangerous. We already talked about their Baron taking potential. They have a lot of Baron speed. Their turn is okay as well. They can disengage with the Gragas ult. Some of them get over the wall.
DBL might not get this. DBL's not going to get this.
Wow. They completely threw it away because Null was not helping. So actually give up the...
They just made you have solo it. Rika in exchange... Oh, Rika! That was a slick little move. Unfortunately, it's not going to matter.
Fortunately, after the very slick move, he completely messed up his hookshot, sadly.
Yeah. Ooh, Null gets flayed away from B, taking a lot of damage, and he goes down. Now Kuriko wants to keep this going. Zhuhao with a bit of a fail flak there. Killer Instinct comes in. As we all know, the police do have a Killer Instinct. Okay. And he'll pick that killer.
FTV has come to play today, and they have now secured double Mountain Drake, which means they might look for... Ooh, Police gets hit. Oh, that might actually be the saving grace here for DBL, because without the hit on Police, they could have taken the Baron, in my opinion. They have a double Mountain and an Ocean Drake on top of that, so very crucial ult. And Big Core has performed great on this Ezreal. I think he has been the best player for DBL this game, especially after Null's mistake here in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, he's 0-0-0, so it may not look very impressive, but he's been doing exactly what his team needs him to.
And what a change of pace compared to the last game. Think back to our
I know, right?
22 kills at 15 minutes. We're now at 8 at 25, but this is very tense and interesting to watch as well, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it's on a nice edge. It's not a low kill game where no one's trying to make anything happen.
Many interesting outplays. Oh, and the fail flash from Zhuhao over the wall, followed by the Killer Instinct.
He smashed his head into the wall.
Yep.
That's not great.
And finally, Rika went down, but he still preserved his flash. So in the next team fight, Rika can possibly get on top of Big Kuro there. And Ezreal, this is actually one of Ezreal's biggest nemesis. The worst enemies to play against, I want to say. Nemesis. Okay, Nemesis. Fair enough. Because, obviously with the Hextech Ultimatum...
Oh, no.
Oh, Rika.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's really
Oh,
not
but
good.
they trade it for Baron. This goes down so quickly. There's 2 in the bot lane. This should be a free Baron.
FTV, Victory, please help. They need your damage.
There it is. There's the secure. Null is in the middle of the pit. Raizo taking a lot of damage. The killer
Oh
instinct
no!
is used
Oh
to
no!
shield. 2 of them get away for now. The slow out of the keg. They need to split.
Oh!
No. FTV. Free throw video games.
Nice.
As they take the Baron, but only one
God.
survives.
And this will be
this is gonna
inhibitor for DBL. So in the end, they
Yeah.
don't even the Baron actually helped them a lot because their own Baron secure is not that great with Ezreal with Salis as the mid and bot laner. So give over the Baron, take the kills, and take the inhibitor for free afterwards. Rika gets caught in the bot lane. They have enough time to contest the Baron anyway. I think Victory once again didn't look too great there. Should have hit the Baron from the beginning. Maybe that would have been enough time then for FTV. Yeah, I think that actually could have made the big difference there for FTV. But he was greedy, he wanted to go for the wave in the top lane, and that costs his team the inhibitor.
Yep, absolutely. So
Also very detrimental to FTV that B does not have his flash available, because obviously you want to flash over the wall with your Thresh and then Lantern one extra member out of there, so... that was a typical Baron throw for FTV. At least they secure the Baron. If the Baron also went over to DBL, the game would have been over.
Yeah, that would have just been a knockout blow.
They're still in it. It's only 2k roughly for DBL. The gold actually does not matter too much. They have a super strong police on their side.
It's very true. It's definitely not over, but this is definitely made it harder.
Yeah, way harder. And now another Infernal Drake will spawn for DBL. They really like this RNG here on the dragons.
Yep, they like these orange dragons popping up. Always good.
Will FTV contest this?
I mean, I think they can.
Right now, their positioning in mid lane is good enough.
Oh,
to
they
contest.
definitely can if they get a catch. If Nor goes down, there's so much trouble. That Sejuani ult went straight into the wind wall. Victory goes into the Zonyas. Well done. Reizo now on the front line. He picks up one. Victory goes for the ult.
Oh my god!
Goes down in exchange as my stream freezes.
Yeah, same
God
here,
damn it.
same here, same here. This seems to be on the official stream. So that.
Oh no.
That's not great, but at least it's not our fault. There we are again.
It's not moving. Oh, there we go. Now it's moving properly for me as well. In the end, it was a 2 for 3. Sorry, everyone. We hopefully we get a replay so we know what actually happened in that fight. It seemed the
there were some
did cut out.
very cool little outplays happening for FTV side. Very important Void Seeker hitting for police to actually secure the final lethal blow on Null. If you get the replay, you actually see the damage from police was very, very crucial. He is sitting on the W evolve with the Nashor's Tooth coming in, so a lot of damage from the W. And then a cool outplay from Victory for once in this game as well.
Yep. Ooh, Juhao looking a little bit aggro here. I think they could... Oh no, with the TPs.
Yeah.
The Avengers have arrived. Null. Null has caught them. But can he get away? He steals the box, the useless support ult.
It is. It is.
Okay, I think it's fine. I don't think it's amazing. It's fine.
It is an ult. Oh, nice. We get to see this again. Now, keep your eyes on Null and what hits him here.
Well, Sejuani ult didn't get eaten.
And there it is. Very important Void Seeker. Exactly after he got out of the Zonyas, denied another W, and look at Victory as well. Gets the crits on the...
Exactly what he had to do.
Great stuff out of Victory. For the first time in this game, he actually made the Yasuo work and secured FTV another Infernal Drake and a turret as well. So
Yep, FTV doesn't want to give up this inhib, so they're going to go in. Rika taking so much damage, but the Yasuo ult has been used. First kill onto Nor, but Big Koro will secure the tower. Victory now in the backlines. Picks up the kill on Paulette, and Razor going down. So it's 3 for a tower. Not the greatest trade, but exposing an inhib when there's no objectives on the map doesn't really matter that much for DBL to have those deaths.
Yeah, it's true. They give FTV a little bit of time to push out the mid wave, which is great for them because they get better map positioning, can establish a little bit of vision if they want to. And the next Baron will spawn in around 3 minutes, I think. 2 minutes maybe. Instead, we don't have a Baron timer here. Should be 2 minutes or something. Yeah.
It's like 45 seconds. It's already got the marker on the map.
Oh, really? Yeah,
like
you're right. So less than 1 minute now. This one will be probably the most important objective to decide the series. Look at this fight again. A little bit over-aggressive in my opinion. Why would you fight this aggressively on turret? I mean, it's a 5v4, fair enough. And Razor flashes in with the ult on top of B. But it's still a lot of turret damage coming down. Victory tanks forever and gets the very crucial Q knock-up on the Ezreal to deny Ezreal the entrance into the backside of the fight. So nicely done.
And Rika walks down bot to steal the gold for the minions. Hard effort. Oh, B starting the fight here. The Victory went in off the flay knockup. They're trying to take down Paulette. They do. Oh, the Aurelia ult is dodged as well. Doesn't go up. Zhuhao goes down immediately. Reizo now has to do it all, but he doesn't have it in him.
Look at Rika.
Getting knocked up. Big Koro is soloed out by Rika. That's an ace. FTV are looking crispy clean.
FTV's team fighting is great. We have seen so many times that FTV's team fighting coordination is looking like one of the top teams. If they get to the team fights in the late game, they can certainly perform. And this will be the game. This will be the series. FTV have secured their spot in VCS 2020. They win the series against DBL. QG has to be super angry with a DBL, especially in this last game here, where they threw away a lot of the leads. FTV wins this. 5-0 team fight again at that even gold.
Look how excited they are.
I mean, rightfully so, right? And I think it's really deserved. I cheered for them this game, but because I think they are the better team compared to QG. They deserve to go, to not go to relegations, I should say.
I agree.
Wow.
Completely agree. Super well done. Well done, QGB. Dashing Buffalo, what has happened to you?
It's not looking great. We can now finally look at the whole season.
Ref had to move Rika on there.
Rika
jumped. Like he was having a bit of a laugh with his friend.
We can now look at the whole season. DBL finished the first round robin, I think, with 5-2, and the second round robin went 3-4. So they actually have a losing record in the second half of the split. Looked very weak against all of the top teams. Look at this engage again, nicely done. Starting the fight with a flay and very good engage on the I think the Aurelia ult just missed there, and Police is still super strong on the AP Kaiser. Null gets denied. Another skill shot that does not hit. So crucial abilities from DBL side all missed. There was the Aurelia ult that did not reach. Then the E from...
Well, I think the thing with the Aurelia ult that I noticed was Razor aimed it at the smartest position, which is the center of the team fight, because you're going to hit someone.
Yeah.
But FTV split. They just split down the middle.
Yeah, but it was very close to hitting as well. Like it was a super close. And then I think most importantly, Null's E did not connect, so he just stood there as a melee with. I mean, he had aftershock beat. He didn't land the CC, so no aftershock trigger as well. Just went down. Great team fighting from FTV. I think their team fighting has looked very crisp, even against top teams. If they can work on their mid-game coordination and at their early game a little bit, they could be a good team in the next year. It's great to see for Rika as well, to finally find some success on this team after struggling a lot all year. I think in spring he was by far the worst top laner in the VCS. He has improved a lot, especially in the second half of this split, and it's heartening to see.
Yeah, it's very nice to see. So we have to decide on a MVP for Game 3. I think it's tricky because it was a real team effort.
Yeah, once again, team fighting victories are always. It's always hard to award MVPs for team fight victories. We have to think about the most crucial fights. I think Police had a great contribution with the clutch
I mean, if we're
W.
talking about the fights that won the game, it's B.
I think so too, actually. I just wanted to touch on B as well. I think the last engage there was well done. Set up his Yasuo. We talked about the synergy between Gragas and Yasuo a lot, but also touched on Thresh Yasuo setup, and it came to fruition in this game.
Yeah, so I'd
like to give it over to B as well. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
it's a team
totally
effort.
Agree.
It really is about the team playing well together. So you could actually give the MVP over to almost anyone. I don't think Rika or Victory are really in contention for this game. But great,
I definitely think they.
Great performance from the bot lane once again. Kurko was there.
Yeah, I mean he didn't play terribly.
No,
he had a few. So yeah, in the end, FTV keep their spot in the VCS. Well done to them. Absolute story of redemption. Super good to see.
And Yulwei has to prepare now for the relegation after getting a 4-3 start in the season and the first round robin and looking like one of the middle of the pack, looking at playoff teams or dreaming about playoff teams. They went 0-7 in the second half of the split, finishing the season at 4-10, and rightfully go down to relegations where they have to redeem themselves. They have to find something to not fall out of the league after only one split.
That they do. But we will be back in probably about 20 minutes for the second series of tonight.
Which hopefully will be a little bit of a meme one, because both teams play for absolutely nothing.
It is a completely meaningless series. Nothing at all matters. So
give me my Garen Yuumi game. I really want to cast the Garen Yuumi game.
Give me some Tryndamere.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Some Mordekaiser maybe. He's enabled again. Maybe you get to see another TFT composition.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to think the team. I wouldn't necessarily blame them if they come in and play properly because there is some pride in it and it's always good to get the practice. But at the same time, this means nothing.
Yeah, practice for what?
This last game.
I mean, practice is actually useful for servers, right? They have to go to relegations as well. They are our last place team. I actually think that we might just see standard comps for EVOs where they try to give everything to Zorn, because he's still in contention for MVP of the split. He's 100 points behind the leaders right now. So if he gets 2 MVPs today, he actually is the sole MVP of the split. So we might see some very jungle first 6 games. I think
that'd be disappointing.
If he pulls off the Nidalee as well, I think could be cool to see.
All the Graves.
The Graves, the Graves. Kindred. Maybe some Evelyn. Yeah, maybe we see some cool jungle picks.
I'd love some Evelyn.
Evelyn Yuumi is also nice.
Yuumi?
Oh yeah.
Yep, the submarine. Gotta love it. But we will see what they do in about 20 minutes. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Hope we enjoyed the first series. I know I certainly did.
Same.
We'll see you soon.
See you.